Hello, everybody. This is the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast. I am your host, Dale Luganbill. On today's episode, I finally got the hunting crew together. Now, I had to kind of trick them because anytime I usually bring this up, they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Then we get done fishing or hunting, doing whatever we're doing. They're like, oh, I'm tired. I got to go. I got a thing. I got a this. I got a that. I tell you, where does their loyalties lie? But I mentioned beer and burgers after a hunt, a successful hunt, and they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And I was like, pull tabs, I'm in. Boom. Suckers. Well, anyways, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in the podcasting stuff, and we're going to do a podcast. Now, there was more guys, and I had headphones, so we just did a little swapping here and there when it was required, or somebody to go to the bathroom or do whatever. So you might hear some, hey, over here, that kind of stuff, talking in the background. And we also recorded in a bar, which is nothing new to the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast, but just giving you fair warning that there's some background noise. It didn't really get bad till right at the end. We wrapped it up. There was a kid crying right behind us, but, hey, you got to fight through that. But, yeah, so I got the hunting crew, fishing crew, the outdoor crew, whatever you want to call it. That's this one. I've been waiting to do this one. So this is, it's silliness because it's the guys, right? This is what the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast is supposed to be. That extension of that hunting crew, camaraderie, shit talk. So that's what this one is. So if you're new to the podcast, welcome. I appreciate you downloading and checking this out. If you haven't done so already, obviously you got to do all the things. Go on Facebook. Find Full Scale Outdoors, like that. There's an outdoor group, Full Scale Outdoors group. Join that. It's fullscale_outdoors on Instagram. Dale Luganbill on Snapchat. I think that's everything. Yeah. So don't forget to, if you haven't done already, download the Waypoint app, and you can get all sorts of great content on there. Bunch of hunting and fishing shows and documentaries, and also a bunch of other podcasts under that same headline. So, it's a great all-in-one stop shop, and I'll be a part of that. So, that's going to be great. Anything else? Any other business? I don't think so. So, let's do it. This is the Full Scale Outdoors Podcast, and this is the Hunting Crew. Oh, here we go, boys.
Go.
Ooh, I love that sound. This is a good one.
I'm having very
Ain't
large
no one
conflict
there.
of interest right now.
Why? Oh, because you want to go fishing?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, some guy out of Michigan.
Is he on Lake Michigan, or is he in Erie? Or is that Mille Lacs?
St. Clair,
Lake St. Clair.
I would assume.
Let's go out there and catch some greenies.
St. Clair.
Be about what we would do.
Well, once we failed at trying to catch smallmouth.
Correct.
Because Austin sucks at
I'd
catching
be
smallmouth.
at an 18-foot rock pile, and I'd blow a greenie up.
Trolling. Lindy Riggin.
There we go.
I mean, or you just go to some unnamed lake in northern Minnesota.
Unnamed.
Yeah. And
I've already named
I
that
know.
lake a million times in this podcast. If they haven't heard about it by now,
it's
probably.
their own problem if they haven't listened.
Yeah. Go back. It's not little. There's nothing little about it. Yeah. Oh, now you want to talk?
I think it's the 18th largest lake in the state of Minnesota that's not
Shut
border
up.
waters.
Shut up, Mike. Just kidding. Don't shut up. Go there.
Might be
It's awesome.
17th.
But what was the pro that was just up on Rainy?
Wheeler?
Was that Wheeler?
Yeah.
Jacob Wheeler was just on Rainy, and he
And
drove.
Scott Martin.
That was me. I was there last weekend.
Well, you're not a pro.
Oh.
Not a pro fisherman.
Correct.
We're not talking about gay porn.
I think him and Scott Martin were up there, if I
They
remember.
drove right past it. Literally drove right past it.
I don't know what
Although
they're
they
missing.
did catch some pretty nice fish, but there weren't any green ones mixed in.
Yeah.
Not that they probably care, but I don't know. That lake's awesome. I love it. Should we bring Austin there, or should we just torment them with stories?
Torment the shit out of it.
He'd fail anyways.
His bank account ain't big enough for all the rocks he'd get stuck in.
How about the jigs? That's why I'd start
That's what I'm
pouring my
saying.
own jigs.
This
We're going to have a jig pouring party this
Yeah,
winter.
we decided that.
drink beer, do this all over
jig
again.
pouring and tying and yes.
Drink beering and
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm
I didn't
in.
even think about the podcast aspect of it, but yeah, we'll do that. And you guys feel you're going to be listening to dozens of people now.
I'm gonna have a strong pile of one certain color.
There's-
Solid 60 to 40.
Well, we need to figure out the exact recipe of the Magic Craw,
I have
the Outcast
I
Magic
have
Craw.
some intel.
All right, well, so I have a connection.
I know, but I'll show you later.
Okay. Well, I agree. I want that too. I do like that color pattern. So
Just-
everybody listening, stop
works.
buying Magic Craw from Outcast because I want them.
Every single one.
Everything I do, it's like lately I go in and a store has them, like slide them right off the
$60
post right into
later.
the basket. It's worth it. Is it not worth it?
The Pike thinks so.
Well, I didn't use any of those.
It's like they say,
because I'm all out of them.
fish eat fish.
I have 3 swim jigs. Okay, swim jigs in Magic Craw yet, but
Those will come back into play here in a couple weeks.
pretty soon.
Couple weeks.
What was the water temperature yesterday, Austin?
65.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's dropping. Fast.
72 on Thursday when I fished.
We still found fish and I almost said birds because we were hunting today, but we still found fish.
Hunting
in
today, that was
17 feet was the magic
Yep, right on the edge of the weeds.
deep weeds. I'm sure it was like a live weed thing. I
Oh,
need to
yeah.
bring the camera out there. That had to be what it was.
That's a whole different battle we're getting ready to fight too.
Yes,
Hmm.
Minnesota made. Are we out? Are we marking cabbage patches on our lakes? We should probably do that.
I got a couple marked already.
We should probably go to Clearwater with open water.
Why don't we just wait till the divers are in and then make it worth our time?
Okay, deal. I don't know if we're gonna find that. I thought we were gonna do a pelican cast and blast. I just said the name of the lake.
We can do it all.
Oh, if you say so. I ain't bleeping.
What
anything
off
out.
season?
Right.
What free time?
Exactly.
There's
You
no
know,
such
And you
thing.
still got to go and shoot a swan, too.
True story. I got drawn again this year for swan tag. We're just gonna have to take a day and actually target. Leave everybody else.
Let's just buy swan decoys and get it over with.
Okay.
Could do that.
But we also need to hunt where they're gonna be.
We were.
We weren't. They were in the area, but they weren't using the body of water.
We
were
could have killed a
hunting.
couple of decoys last year. They would have flown close
Maybe.
enough.
I think you could have killed one that flew over that you probably
There you
could have
go.
killed the one that flew over last year. But you wanted it to decoy. There was one that flew over.
And that didn't fly over me. If you think I'm not shooting at a swan at 50, you're insane.
His mic still ain't close enough to his mouth.
Probably not.
Bueller?
You said 2
Bueller?
words.
Bueller, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, kind of, sort of. I can turn you up when I put this together. It's not a big deal.
No.
So this is the first weekend of early goose season in Minnesota.
And it
Yesterday
was rough.
was shit.
Real rough.
Understatement.
We had birds were using it the night before, and they weren't using it the morning after. I guess that's this.
I don't know.
That's a good way to
Yesterday-
make a
yesterday-
short story even shorter.
Yesterday just seemed like a weird day.
Was a
Nothing,
weird day.
Big crow feeds that didn't show. I mean,
Yeah, there was literally
animal
hundreds,
activity was low in
hundreds
general.
of crows in that field when we went in there yesterday or the day before, and there was some around, but
Just overall animal activity seemed low.
we did shoot a pigeon. We got one pigeon out of that field
One goose.
Yeah.
and one goose. Then they shot one that evening. We didn't hunt, but
Yeah.
And today, on the other hand,
well, today wasn't looking great either
today sucked.
because
for-
we fished after hunting. Austin and I went bass fishing and caught some. That wasn't great either. I hooked. Well, I technically didn't hook it.
That was
There
one
was
Take
of
your
the-
fish for a
there
walk
was a
again?
massive northern pike on the end of my
Well, he
line.
made it around the boat.
I
Take
thought
your-
it was a muskie.
Take your fish for a walk.
Kind of did. I did walk it around the boat because I didn't want it to freak out. It was getting ready to freak out, but I don't think it had a hook in it. I think it just had the trailer, the
And then it just
plastic
let go.
trailer. That was a big one.
Anyway, back to the hunting today that got sidetracked.
Yeah. So after fishing, there was I'm assuming a huge accident on the freeway
Oh,
that we dipped off, almost causing an accident by getting no, not really, but I did go from the left lane
to
the
the exit
exit.
ramp.
to the exit ramp. I'm like, can I make it? I can make it. So I'm not getting stuck in this. This looks bad. And then so we were right there by the water treatment facility, which is usually a goose roost by where we're hunting. So, while we're right here, we might as well see if anything's on it.
Out of proximity.
And there wasn't.
No.
So we're like, well, we might as well go check out that field.
Nothing.
Because Joel wanted us to scout it. We weren't going to do it at first. We're like, well, we're hunting it regardless, so what's the point of even scouting it? But, so, we went, and there was nothing.
Some doves.
We drove around a little bit, not just taking kind of a long way back to the freeway, because the one exit is closed, and the other one. So, anyways.
We hardly even saw a goose when we were out driving around.
We saw 3 geese flying when we were fishing, and that's it. That's all we saw. So we're like, well, we might not see anything tomorrow.
But this also tells you why you don't know unless you go.
Right, and the last time, this is also the only small grain field in the area. It's only 20 acres. The last time this field was small grain.
Circa 1998.
Yeah, a long time ago. We hunted the same way. We just went in blind, and we smashed them.
Well,
Both days.
You had no options.
Pretty much
at
the
that
whole.
time.
Yeah, literally, that was our only field we had permission for. I was pretty young into the game, too, back then. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. So, really, we got lucky.
Not to say we know what we're doing now, but
Wow. I could fake
a little
it.
better
I could
idea.
fake it better.
learned well from
We
your
weren't
women.
faking
over
it too well this
Been married
morning right
long
away.
enough.
True.
Figure this out. Yeah, just pay attention.
But yeah, this
Nobody
morning
at this
was
table cares if the other person fakes it.
no.
Let's be honest.
I've won every race I've entered.
I believe that, actually.
Whatever. It is what it is.
100 believe that. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
I never even really knew what that. I still don't really get that saying. I mean, I know what they're trying to say, but it's like neither one of those things are like a compliment to your manhood.
No. And I ain't gonna find
I'm a
out
grower,
if it's
not
a real thing.
shower. Okay. It needs to grow. Does it need to grow? Because if it needs to grow,
You got problems.
I'm sorry.
You got problems.
I'm
And
sorry.
there's nothing you
If
can
it
do
needs
about
to
it.
grow, then you just get a really big forward with a light bar on top.
I know one of those guys.
Oh, what did I told you, Nate. If you don't have
thought
a
I
headset
saw one of those
on,
trucks this morning.
You're getting targeted.
So this is also the same Ford that got stuck on the side of the road because his radiator's
yeah, they were
falling
almost
to
late.
shit. And
This needs to be pointed out. 2 days in a row, we were set up on time.
look what it got us. Absolutely nothing.
The first day, second day.
It got us still
Today-
got nothing.
No.
Yeah, we could have been set up at 9 o'clock and been just fine.
Well, okay. So there weren't. What we're getting to with the roundabout scouting talk is that there, I guess, no local birds around for whatever
but
reason.
historically, this area is
This area
phenomenal
usually-
for traffic
yeah,
alone.
This area usually loads up.
That's why all of us were halfway okay going in blind.
And today I think it's starting to load up because we were very surprised to see some migrating flocks today. High
No,
flyers head
birds
south.
don't migrate unless it's cold.
Hey, bro.
Not freezing.
It's they only migrate when it's cold.
Listen, bro. They're viewed up. All as the guy so eloquently stated on Facebook, don't all waterfowl migrate?
No, actually they don't because we winter birds every year.
The fulvous whistling duck in Texas doesn't migrate.
This is also true.
Put that in.
That
That's not a ram.
That's Austin's.
Whatever that is, it looks good.
I might eat that
I don't
instead.
know how we're going to do this podcast and eat. We're not.
Well, we
Should I
are.
just pause it?
We can, but let us all get our food first here, and we'll
All right, fine.
be back into this conversation later.
I was going to pimp out where we're at, but then people know we're hunting, and I can't do that.
That's fine. We got her locked down.
It's true. I don't want to. I think we're good.
We're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So,
Well,
yeah,
We're gonna
I'm
take
gonna
a 20
pause
minute
this.
hiatus
We're gonna
here.
eat, and then we'll be back.
We're back, folks. Where were we?
And we're done eating. That was like record time food consumption. I think
would
I
you like?
Might have been
We're
hungry.
all hungry because I'm sure we haven't eaten.
can I have a napkin for Nancy over here?
You want one with the string attached to it?
Try it.
Dip a French fry in it.
Very good.
What? What is it?
Some mustard or
Ugh.
something. Ugh, I hate horseradish.
Me
Man,
too.
that's why I like have sushi. I don't. No wasabi. Nasty. All I taste is the wasabi. Why are you
That's
gonna
the
get
point.
like? Why is that? Why would you get a good fish like tuna and then cover up the taste?
Well, yeah, that valid. Valid point.
That does make 0 sense. We just had sushi the other day. We got a couple rolls, which were good, but then I had just
Did you go to
Actual
whatchamacallit
sushi.
again?
Hajime.
In Plain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I got just actual sushi, which is fish and rice, and it was awesome. I was like, I should have just got all regular sushi. I
You
like it
think
better
you
than
know
the
by now
rolls.
you're there every other week.
Not there every other week. Haven't been there in a while. But I was glad I went.
Well.
But what were we talking about? Hunting.
Migrators.
We were on today.
September
Yeah, we haven't really
2nd.
got to the migrator. Did we get to the migrator thing?
I don't know.
Anyways.
September 2nd.
So they were migrators, is the moral of the story.
And they decoyed.
They did.
We
Well,
saw 2 flocks early
wait.
that we were on the
Really
fence
only
about.
one group decoyed.
No, we had 2.
We have 2 that came down?
2
Three.
migrators.
Wasn't the one like a local group, though?
No,
More-
not a chance.
The local group of 6, then the migrator group of 6, and then the migrator group of like 8, where the single came in. And
Yeah, but we
No.
only plucked one out of that one, right?
Every bird we killed except for 3 were migrators
Migrators.
today.
Right. We had 2. Well, the first group of 6 just popped over the trees. While I was
That's valid.
While I was walking to take it
was
down.
we only worked 2. Yes, we
Taking
only
one
worked,
for the team,
yeah,
as they
we
call
only
it.
worked 2 groups of migrators. that
That's not
broke
true.
off.
We worked 4 or 5
Oh, that's
groups
true, but
today.
they
That
ignored us,
Well,
which is what migrators
Didn't
usually
finish.
do. Yeah.
we broke down 4 or 5 flocks
Yeah,
today.
yeah. And then we,
but that
we
one
peeled
really
one off.
did it.
The
But
first,
let's
the,
give-
fir- the very first migrating flock.
Can we
did
get
it
back to this?
awesome.
It's September 2nd.
Yeah, it's pretty early, but it's also cooler than usual right now.
95% of people in the online waterfowl warrior world will call bullshit.
Nick Johnson's got my back.
There's a thing with this. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't believe it.
Well, it's like the calendar migration for divers
On the south wind?
October on a south wind.
Answer that one for us.
Mm-hmm.
Answer that one for us.
It's just when they do. It's with south wind. We did it. I know. That's what we're saying. That's when they. Oh well, might not have been the right.
It did
south
work
wind.
though.
We did see migrators that day.
My
We
point.
just they didn't decoy us. Yeah. Yeah, we still saw migrating flocks.
Super cloudy.
Well,
we killed
every
them in the
time
rain.
we've done it,
We've killed
it's
them in the
been
rain.
cloudy.
Yeah.
In the rain usually.
Well,
Nice,
we
like
beat
a
the
nice
shit out.
warm rain, south wind, not a strong south wind, like a 5 to 10.
Remember when we accidentally did it the one day? We paddled into that place and beat the shit out of the
and it was
ringers.
spitting rain that day too.
You never saw them. All you
They
heard
just
was
came out of the fog. Yeah, heard that diver jet sound.
and then one passed it.
Yeah,
You had gun issues that day, otherwise we would have killed our
Yeah.
12 easy.
I did have gun issues that day.
And the poor 870.
Yeah, when you're 870
How can you call
is
something
jamming-
poor?
Well,
Because he never cleaned it.
it probably jammed because you guilted me into cleaning it. That's when it started jamming.
This is a true statement.
Gun never jammed until I was literally shamed into cleaning it, and then I had issues with it. So it's your fault,
No, well.
Austin.
It was my fault.
Yeah, Joel shamed you, not
I
me.
shamed you into it.
Probably true. You're usually the core of my bad
I may have
ideas.
supported the
I'm the
statement,
core of your
but-
bad ideas.
Speaking of bad ideas,
We do some stupid.
who's getting pull tabs?
I'm in.
Reach for their wallet. Come on, Michael.
Well, it's got to be one of these two. They got to go get it.
Right, because
I go with Nolan. Nolan, you go get it. Whichever one looks the best.
And for those not in the upper Midwest, pull tabs are kind of like a scratch off,
It's cardboard
lottery.
crack.
Yes,
Ticket.
cardboard crack is the accurate term.
but it's for charity. It's for the children.
No, it is most of the time.
No, well, it
it's
has
the
to be
hockey
legally-
teams. Yeah.
Legally in the state of Minnesota, it's called charitable
Oh,
gambling.
when did
in
this
order
get
to
here?
gamble,
a little while ago.
the proceeds must go to some sort of charity. So a lot of times it's
Fire
like
department has them.
fire department or
Really?
boosters for a hockey team or a soccer team or something like that.
Fire department uses it to buy. Well, we donate
Equipment.
to other charities and donate to the food shelf, and we use it to
Okay.
buy equipment.
Mike Beaglebach is talking. For those, nobody's gonna know.
No one
Nobody knows who any of
Wants
us
to
are.
know.
I've been mentioned in
That's
other
true.
podcasts.
There was
Have you? Was it probably
With Donnie.
referencing
his
Oh,
bad
I
goose
thought maybe
calling.
it was terrible shooting and
No, it's his bad goose calling.
yeah, that too.
or bad goose calling.
Well, no, I won't call it bad goose calling.
It's just not
It's
existent.
non-experienced.
Yeah, he needs it. But just today,
Practice.
from the tips that we learned from Nick Johnson, he's cracking
Which-
it over. So now he's on the road to
Which
figuring
that's
it
a
out.
good one to download and just keep in your back pocket. If you ever need
Yeah, I've
a
been,
refresher, you ever need just
I've
it's a
been-
half hour. You got a half hour to kill. You guys doing it, you scout,
driving to work every day.
you drive to work, you drive to the field. If you're dumb like us, you drive an hour and a half one way. every weekend.
I've been messaged by a couple people that were like, that one, I've already listened to it like 5 times.
It's good. It's a good refresher. It gets you back to the basics.
Yeah, I got a message on the Go Wild app that somebody was like, I'm not going to log this every time because for those of you who don't know the Go Wild app, it's like you can log your activity and you build up like points. And
how's the used box look?
Such a loaded question.
How does the used box? How
Such a
used?
loaded question.
You decide. We're going to lose regardless. It doesn't matter.
Right. It's for the children. Well, I generally will go with the fresh box.
Are there any winners out of the fresh box?
How experienced of a used
Fresh
box?
Fresh box.
Go fresh box.
If there's not a single
fresh.
winner out of the fresh box yet, take the
Fresh box. All right.
All right, we're going fresh.
Should have
box.
gone used.
Anyway,
Somebody's gonna put 20 in and pull out like
probably.
300.
so who's here?
Well, you don't pull out well, you should pull out in a fresh box. Don't pull out of a. You can probably get away with not pulling out of a used box. Less chances of spending more money on a used box.
True.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift. I think they do. Anyway, so this guy, he's like, I've already listened to this thing however many times. Like, I'm only going to log it once, though. But so people are getting a lot out of that. So
That's good.
Thank Nick for that one. It's all him. Someone was like, hey, that was a really good. I'm like, I would love to take credit for that, but I literally
Hopefully,
just had to get out of the way.
Hopefully you can get Nick on for a duck calling tutorial as well. He's pretty efficient
Well, he
on a
is
duck
a
call
champion.
from what I hear.
He is a
Yeah.
champion. Yeah, we need to get him on a hunt. So we need to do. That would be fun.
Well, looking at the weather for next week,
Yeah, might have
next
another.
Saturday could be fun.
Might have another one of these migrator days, as we call them.
And we're going to set the trailer and the other trailer.
Only one trailer. How many decoys do we have out today?
I don't know, 14 dozen, 15 dozen,
We didn't even bring a trailer.
nothing
And
crazy.
how fast did we pick them up?
10 minutes. On the dot, 10 minutes. 15 dozen decoys.
We had 6 guys.
That's
which
a lie.
Does help.
We had probably 17 dozen today.
6 guys that know what they're doing, and 5 guys that know what they're doing, and Mike. And
True. I am not going to argue. Zero argument there.
but there were, dive bombs, which
We've
is
gotten
the
on
new,
the dive bomb
which is your
train.
new toy.
They're very efficient.
They look good.
They're efficient.
And we killed birds over them, so now I
Well,
feel
they
better.
worked.
And
My
nobody
white-
may
the
know
white
this,
rocks
but
worked.
we are
That's what did it.
That's what did it.
we're kind of decoy whores.
We did add, so we brought more decoys than we thought we were going to use. We were not expecting it to be a day like this because
It's September
it was
2nd.
That, and it was forecast to be no wind today, but there was a nice breeze out of the northeast.
Well,
It was
almost
definitely
the whole
not
time.
2 mile an hour forecast.
we saw those 2 flocks earlier that him and Hod on looked like they were V'd up heading south, and we're like,
We're like, those look like migrators.
they were a little low. Well, they what happened is they probably just got off the roost
Yeah.
to go,
Maybe,
and they weren't up there yet. But then that first bunch we broke down.
but we didn't have.
They
They
were
were
above
breaking down before we
we
even saw
shot
'em.
a goose within the first hour,
till 9
and
o'clock.
then there was nothing. Pretty much.
was
We didn't
pretty
even
bleak.
hear much shooting
Pretty bleak.
around the area either. We heard some real far off, but even that wasn't a lot. Like it was like a volley once every half hour or something.
If that.
It wasn't great. Also, not that many cranes around. I mean, not that there's a season here, but that's usually. I mean, this area is usually shit stacked with cranes.
Give it a couple weeks.
Yo, it's gonna load up for sure, for sure, for sure. All right, pull tabs in the house.
Fresh box has arrived.
Sounds like a horse service.
Mike's just gonna watch.
I'm just gonna watch.
Is this a cheap box or a expensive box?
You usually don't
Looks like
find
a
out
dollar.
how that until much later in the relationship.
There needs to be price tags.
It should be.
You can window shop.
And expiration dates. Like,
Well-
how many years do I have before this ruins my life?
Is this 20 or what?
20-ish. Yay.
Yay.
And we're gambling.
And we're hunting. And we're fishing.
Is there any legalities of broadcasting and gambling at the same time? I don't think there is.
Probably.
We're not in a casino.
Whatever.
Not making money
And
off
it's
of it.
charitable.
And it's for the children.
It's for the
Should
children.
we send all the money down to the hurricane victims?
The Bahamas?
Yeah.
Florida got lucky.
Right out of the gate. Not a winner.
There's going to be a lot of that.
Can we get the sound of it?
She gave us a nice tray to throw.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling it. Does that work?
You stack them up first, and then you
And
put 'em
nothing.
in.
So what fakes me out is this one here looked like a line through it, and it's
Kinda
just a
does.
hand holding a pencil. That's rude.
Are we counting mine?
That
No, I'm
is
putting them all the
rude.
same direction so I can pull through them in 2 seconds.
You're gonna enjoy them all.
We already know you can pull in 2 seconds, Joel.
My point, I win every race.
Not a problem.
Dale's just over in his own conversation.
Yeah, well, I got to keep it going. The people are gonna be like, "What are they doing?" All
Well,
I
we're
hear is-
busy.
Yeah.
They don't even know who they are.
Yeah,
busy
well,
we haven't
Joel,
properly
Joel
introduced everybody.
Kotke, Austin Linder, Mike Beaglebach,
Just some random guys off the street, really.
Pretty much.
Nate. What's your last name again?
Man whore.
Seriously, Boyer.
Boyer. There it is, from Boyer's Customs. The one guy that actually has a
A business.
a business to pimp out is too much of a pussy to put the headphones on. So you know what? I'm gonna edit that out.
We
He
should have
got-
gone with the used box.
We definitely should have gone with the used box. We just donated
He
$100.
did. He did weld me up a really nice evaporator pan for maple
You
syrup.
need a door.
Yeah, but he didn't put the handles in the middle of it, so it carries all.
It is a little
lopsided.
tippy.
You need a few doors built for your.
Oh,
My
yeah.
boat.
Definitely.
Like the handle legit
Yeah,
came off
the
yesterday.
latch came out yesterday.
Oops.
That boat needs to be caught on fire on accident or purpose.
How dare you, sir?
Well, it's time for an upgrade.
Would love to upgrade. So if everybody would just continue to download the Full Scale Outdoors podcast, share it with your friends, like, comment, rate, review.
You taking donations?
I should.
I am not donating. What do we win? $2? Oh, right.
$4. I'm on a roll.
Over there, you gotta go up there.
I'm batting 1,000 over here. By
Same.
1,000, I mean 0.
Well,
Went about as good as our goose hunting right away this morning.
you know, maybe it'll look up in
Are
the
you
end.
saying we just need to play for 3 hours?
Yeah.
Then it'll pan out. I don't know that I have the funds for
That's
that.
how goose hunting started. It started with one
One.
this morning.
It starts with
one thing?
Was there a 60-yard shot at a decoying bird, too?
Oh, should we get into that?
Yeah, I think we kind of derailed our conversation.
Should we get
of
into that? Should we
hunting.
get in?
We should start with the backstory of yesterday and how this all started.
Yeah.
How I
go
got
ahead.
yelled at for not calling
Well,
a shot.
yeah, okay. So Joel is usually our shot caller because somebody's got to be.
And more times than not,
Wow,
it's fine.
20, and I got 0 winners out of that.
Same.
And
too. Well, got 2.
generally, he does a good job without controversy.
But things happen all
yesterday,
the
we
time.
had a flock in relatively early, and it wasn't doing it. It kind of sort of looked like they might swing out around and come in, but they were breaking up, and Austin and I were pretty much in agreement, like, we should probably shoot these now.
But I'm under the
Or we're not
impression
gonna
it's
get
the
it.
first bunch of the day, the first bunch of the season. I want to see what they're going to do.
Well, we found out they
And it was
left.
fly the other way.
And they were in range. That's the thing. It's like they were in range. And we could have probably shot, I don't know,
Just leave the top on.
3 to 5 at least.
Yeah. I mean, we're all fairly proficient shots.
Yeah, we did have kind of a, well, not really a newbie with us, but
Yes.
he hasn't hunted in a long time.
And
He
he's
used to
never
hunt.
layout
He just-
hunted.
Oh, he's never layout hunted. Okay. That was his first goose he shot later that night, which is kind of cool.
Which is awesome for him, yeah.
First legal goose, he said.
There is that.
He shall remain nameless. There's probably a statute of limitation there
That's all
anyways,
right.
but I think, one goose is not going to hurt the population too much.
But you never know.
But anyways, not that I'm not
It's like
promoting
shooting a hen.
poaching. Let's just throw that out there. But anyways, so that was pretty cool that he got his first goose. It was awesome.
No, and
I'm
you're
ready.
ripping
I'll
all
take
those.
another one. Thank you.
Nope.
Here, you want to open that in your microphone?
I'm good.
You have a microphone, Mike. Why would you do it mine?
Yes, please.
Oh my God. I think it's in there. You only get so much out of a bottle. Cans are better. Beer. Didn't you? I thought Nate. Didn't you order a Busch Light?
I already drank it.
Oh. What?
Yes. $2.
Oh, we had our
Yeah,
playbacks.
all
I get double
$6
one?
of
I get double
playbacks
one?
after $100.
Here we go. Here we go. Big money. Big money.
Nope.
Big money.
No money.
How about no Scotch?
How about $2 more?
So
Oh,
Austin and I
jeez.
bitched at Joel for not calling the shot.
Which is also fairly typical.
We didn't really bitch though. We were just like we could have. We were just like
We
could have.
discussed.
Yeah, we're
Well,
like
it was
we-
more the second time when those other 3 circle back.
The only thing, and I talked to Austin about this when we went fishing yesterday, is that
Behind my back.
well, of course, look, you weren't there.
Correct.
I would have said it in front of your face. It doesn't really matter. My only thing
the
was
first
because if it was just us 3,
We would have killed him.
It'd have been like
would've shot
whatever,
him.
not to shoot him. But we had this other guy with us who was the landowner of the field we were hunting, who was inexperienced. So it was kind of like it was more of like, to me, I was in more of like a guide mindset. And with a guide mindset, birds on the ground equate a successful day, whereas we've shot birds before. Birds on the ground, while it's nice, when they do it right, is even more gooder. So
It all depends on where you're at in the game.
yeah. So, but that's my point. Is like where I was like, it would have been nice to just put geese on the ground because he would have had a better experience.
Right.
He would have had. It would have been more of a successful day for him because we shot the one goose that morning, and then later he went out with. There was just two of them, and then they shot
Right.
one, and he shot it. So thankfully he got to shoot one of them. But
I don't know. It's tough taking those shots right away in the morning, knowing there's been birds in the field for a week and a half straight.
Well,
yeah,
you
and
can
then
even
they
talk
just-
about the
and they
difference like we
just
had
didn't
today.
show up. They just. I mean, we thought, here we go. Here's the first flock. That's the
even
thing. We
today
cut
we
you
had
some
a-
slack. It's just like my mindset was like, I wish you would have put those birds
Well,
on
that's
the
the
ground.
thing. We all banter and bicker at each other, and it's done and over with. But take your, you fuck up, take it.
Well,
Whatever.
well, good. Well, then you get to take it.
But
for
then
the
there's
fuck
guys
up
like
today.
Austin that just decide to shoot at 2-packs on the ground when there's 80 birds behind them.
Or Nate shoots across everybody at teal. That happens too.
Or when you're landing the 7-pack and you're waiting for the last one to get in, and then Nate just train wrecks a decoy on purpose.
Oh yeah, that was
On purpose.
I think we should tell that story because that was a hunt that is surprising.
I wasn't even
that
there
was
for that one.
decent.
You weren't there for that.
I'll pass this off. So
Yeah. All right. Well, there's no defending what he did. Well, so we got it was permission, but it wasn't that kind of permission because the field we wanted, they were already hunting, right? The guy that we kind of got permission with. Joel, stop texting and be in this conversation.
I'm in this conversation. The field we scouted had an absolutely ridiculous amount of birds in it for the
What?
time of year.
There was a group hunting that field, was there not?
There was, and I had to weasel. I won't call it weasel. I made many, many visits to said farmer to get permission to run traffic off his feed even.
So we procured permission to a
We did.
field.
We did.
This field was less than ideal.
It was dirt.
It literally was like
There might have been a better hide in the kids' sandbox at the elementary school.
disc dirt. It was
Flat
bad.
as can be.
So
rolled.
we-
It was
we-
rolled, too.
We dug in a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah.
Not a lot, but we dug in a little
we
bit.
dug in 4 or 5 inches.
And then basically just made a grass hide. We just made it look like a clump of ditchweed in the middle of a field. And I think all of us were like, well, in theory, this should work. But I'm pretty sure most of us like, this isn't going to work.
Oh, no.
If we're being honest, we're like, we might shoot a bird today.
Right.
There's
It
a
wasn't
real
worth our
dumb
time.
one, or one gets injured and flies from that field and flies over to here. But much to our surprise and delight, birds actually gave us a look.
We didn't have a ton of traffic that day.
There
We
wasn't
still-
a ton, and that field that we would rather have been on they were getting shooting back there.
Well, yeah,
so that
they-
was the X. That's where the birds wanted to be.
If I remember correct, they killed 10 or 12 man of ducks and over half their geese.
Yeah. Did we get any ducks that day? I don't think so.
No, we shot.
I thought you guys got a banded mallard, that private band. Or
No,
was
that
No,
was different.
that's a totally different field. Like
No, I think
years
we
later.
had 5 of us. We shot.
we shot one wood duck
14.
in the morning. One wood duck in the morning.
in the
No.
dirt field.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did because Dale shot it. Pretty confident Dale shot a wood
Well,
duck in the morning.
regardless.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Terrible hide. Made it work.
Terrible High did make it work, and we shot a cackler.
Which gets to the story.
Why? And this was almost a controversy too, because we could have shot into that flock sooner, but you wanted that little goose. We had birds on the ground.
Right, which is why I let the little the little goose, which for our area we don't see a lot of little geese. Let's start
No.
with that.
Yeah, no.
We don't see a lot of little geese, so it's a novelty. And just 6 big geese working their way down into the spread. We had birds on the ground.
They
and-
were all on the ground, weren't they? Except for the little one.
right, and we all. I made a comment, and we all were okay with it.
Mostly in agreement.
Get the little goose in, and Nobody made sure he got out.
No.
I mean, that was
He swung around,
He did
and then
not
when
get
we
out.
called the shot, everybody sits up, picks out their birds, and we had birds on the ground.
Right.
So some of those are you're like a turkey shoot,
which
which we did. We did today a little bit.
But
Nate sits up, shoulders his weapon.
and we all killed our
He's
geese.
directly on target.
We all kill our geese. What the hell?
Nice. Again, I'm 100% with no
and
money.
then
That sums up goose.
I swear we've had more.
what
alpha
happened after the
playbacks.
volley?
Yeah.
A lot of birds died.
All the birds, all 7
Yep.
of them.
None of them
The
got
cackler,
out.
the cackler
The
first.
cackler got crumpled.
Correct.
Not only did Nate center punch the bird he was aiming at, which don't go for the head or anything. I mean,
No,
it was far. It was like 15 yards,
Yeah, it was.
maybe 10.
It was like
So,
30.
No, it
there's
was
no way it was
not.
30.
It was all of 15.
15, 20 maybe. So he center punched it, but there's good news and bad news. Good news is he didn't wreck any meat. The bad news is because he center punched my sentry decoy, thinking it was actual live bird.
And then his excuse was, "Well, at least I hit it."
Oh, you hit it. Full pattern.
I would hope so.
Top, bottom, left to right, stern to aft, port to starboard. That thing
Well,
got
that just
lit
goes to show how
up.
good decoys are. I mean, they look lively.
Yeah, it did. That was a
Or you're
GHG.
just an idiot.
Well, I mean, But none of them left, so we recovered at least.
No,
Did
That's
you shoot
true.
another one?
I did.
Did you actually kill one?
I think so. I killed a decoy for sure.
Well,
I got one goose after.
It's a good thing the decoy fell over, otherwise he would have kept
Actually, you
shooting
didn't
it.
kill it because it's still usable. It's fine.
That's true.
I still have
That's
it.
true.
You put that mic a little closer to your
I can-
face.
Yeah, I probably just haven't turned up that much.
Well, that could be too.
I'll adjust it later.
Oh well.
Because admittedly, I don't know which mic he's on, so whatever.
So
It's
for
fine.
people that don't know, Nate's usually the brunt of the jokes when he's here. If not, it's me.
He's definitely the brunt of the jokes when he's not here.
Yeah, but when he is here, we all yell at him.
True. This is a true statement.
And Nolan and Austin, who are both here, also yell at him when he is the captain of the boat.
I think we have all taken
I
our
don't
turn
yell.
at doing the stupid shot, at shooting
my
before
turn
the
today.
shot's been called or something.
My
but
turn
it was
today.
the most shocking. You definitely did today, and we'll get to that.
I
But it
did
was
it
most
today.
shocking when Austin did it that time because he's like the least likely candidate. And
We should.
Was it
Hey,
a
hey.
single bird?
That's a pair.
We should get a little stupid trophy and pass it around through the group. See who gets the stupid trophy.
Get passed
for the
around a
weekend.
lot.
Weekend to weekend.
Weekend to weekend, who gets the stupid trophy?
So it should be a dildo. Because
Pretty sure Nate's got one floating around in his boat.
There was
If
one
not,
on the
you'll
boat.
see Gurky
Grant's got
tomorrow.
one. That's true. We'll see Gurky
That
tomorrow.
would be hilarious, actually.
That would be
But yeah,
kinda fun.
anyway, Austin's
it.
stupid moment.
Yeah. So was it a pair that came in?
Yeah, it was a pair. No,
Yeah,
we had
all our
that.
geese finally got off the roost.
had that silage field down by my place, down
yeah.
by New Prague, and setting up on that. Got out there early.
Just
And
the four of us.
It's just the four. It's the four of us. We were killing a few birds. There was quite a few birds roosting out in the lake nearby, but it seemed like most of them actually flew farther south, and we ended up knowing that they roosted farther south
Right.
on a different lake. But we killed a few birds early.
Yeah,
and getting on them.
relatively early.
Yep. And all of a sudden, there's
No.
a big wad of them coming from the distance, and two of them break out in front, and
Is this still on our playbacks?
Yeah.
This is incredible.
then I
I feel like
decided
you should
to.
keep pulling him.
Those birds needed to
Nolan's the
die.
one that's getting winners.
Do it 6, 4, and 2.
6, 4, and 2,
And
0.
zero.
And 200. Aw.
And we're done.
And we're done.
I will say both of those birds did die though.
Right, but you're leaving out the fact
They did that.
that
Austin's
you're
a good
leaving
shot.
out the fact that there was multiple strings of birds on a beeline.
Oh yeah, but they
From
were
the
they were
same
coming.
point we've killed our birds from all day, they were just A to dead. And these two birds.
I can see on Austin's face where he was like, half him wants to argue that they probably weren't really coming in, but then he's like, they were really coming in. The other half of his face is like,
Okay,
yeah,
so-
I
admitted
fucked
he
up.
These birds decoyed to 5 feet.
I admitted I messed up.
Yeah, you did
right
right
away.
away,
I was
but-
like, I have no clue why I did
Yeah,
that.
They
I
decoyed
just
to
did it.
5 feet.
Yeah, they were
were
on the
close.
poop bags.
On the
and
poop
then
bags.
nobody said anything, and then just boom. We're like, what the hell?
And
That
this
puffed.
might throw us under the bus a little. Not that we are all about killing limits. We could care less, whatever. But we ended
like
up one
limits.
short that day.
Yeah, we like lemons.
I know, but we don't
Right.
get pissed off if we don't.
No.
kill
You gotta go home early when you shoot a limit.
Right.
Right.
But
True story.
Austin's stupidity,
I wasn't even
We
stupidity.
stopped
It's
one
more of
short.
like excitability.
he
I
blew
think
his
he
load.
just, it's like
He blew his load.
the cat. It's like
Early.
the cat with the toy. It was like moving too much. Like he just couldn't take
Exist.
it.
Yeah.
It's the
It
one
was
time
too
I've done
close.
something
It was
like
right.
that.
It is. It's the one only time you have. I will give you. That's why it was so out of character. That's why Joel and I are both like, what the fuck, Austin?
Well, you guys thought I shot.
And when we
We knew it was Austin.
We literally were like, what the fuck? And Austin goes, I don't know.
Literally his answer. He goes, I don't know.
That once he was like, I don't know. Fair enough.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, so today Joel did that. After not calling geese that were well in range, today we had, was it just a single?
It was a single.
A single, like,
Broke off a flock, and
broke
it's coming
off a flock,
over,
and it
circled
was
twice.
kind of working. It looked like he was coming around.
Oh, yeah, it
He
looked
was
like he-
bowed up.
And Joel's sitting there. Can I shoot him? Like, dude, he's still pretty high up.
I didn't realize.
And he
how
was
I'm gonna shoot him.
working.
Was.
And he was working. That was my thing. It's like,
Whatever.
after, see, he gets emotional. See, after yesterday,
It
not
happens.
shooting because he wanted them to work,
Yeah.
he takes the tall shot today when it absolutely was working and would have just kept coming around lower and lower and lower. But at least
Maybe.
you only screwed up one instead of an entire flock
Right.
like it did
I want-
yesterday.
Oh, multiple flocks for me. It wasn't just one.
Oh, you screw up like multiple flocks.
What, today?
Oh no, when
Oh.
his stupid moment.
Oh, yeah. You,
He
yeah,
screwed
there
up
were strings.
everything.
Strings that changed directions. Yeah, that would have been fun. But
It happens.
it does. What are you gonna do?
Nate has
if you don't have
stupid
stuff to, nobody,
a lot.
nobody else puts
Every
decoys
weekend.
out right either. It doesn't matter
Well,
where
right.
you put them. You're putting them in the wrong spot. That's
Nate
just
has
how it is.
stupid moments all the time.
Oh yeah, but I know my podcasts run long, but
We don't have enough.
we don't
time
have
for
enough
that.
time to cover all of Nate's.
I gotta
fuck
go to
ups.
work tomorrow.
Right.
Sadly.
Hey, would it be hunting with me if I didn't mess up?
No, because you're right. It would not be hunting with you if you didn't mess up. You wouldn't be there to mess up. So
Exactly.
it wouldn't work. But
Every group's got one.
yeah,
We have
a
multiple. It's
couple.
just whose turn is it?
We take turns.
Spin the wheel. Who's the dumbass today?
What have you done? What's your stupid moment?
There's been a couple shots that I
hunting
was.
with you guys on a regular basis?
Wow.
I don't know. I'm sure. I know I've had them. Although I don't think I'm not one to shoot early. I usually bet cleanup.
There was one last year when we were out in New Richmond.
I'm sure there has
When
to
you,
be
when you took
something.
a when you took a
Don't
shot,
tell him.
that was a little
Sketchy. Did the
Yeah.
bird die?
no.
Oh, well, there you go. Because sometimes they take tall shots.
That's the thing. Usually when you do it, they die.
This spring, was it this spring? No,
No, it was last fall when we-
last fall snow goose hunting in North Dakota. We jumped this
Ugh.
pond, and we shot. I don't know how many. There's
Like 14 or something,
Half
I
the
think.
crew went on a
Cripple cleanup.
cripple cleanup and gather dead ones that are floating on the pond, and the rest of us stay on the hill. Well, birds are already starting wanting to get back into this pond, and there's a pair that's coming right at us, and they're pretty tall. I'm like, I think I'm going to shoot at these.
They
Oh,
were
they were
all of 60.
They were all of 50, yeah, 60. And they were tall. And I'm like, I'm going to take a shot. They're straight overhead. And I shoulder, and I'm taking aim on it, and Joel goes, don't. Now, I don't know why, but I don't know why it would have mattered whether I shot or not. But it was just funny. He goes, don't. Right at the time as I touched that trigger, boom, power button. Just
Which
Like-
is funny because then Mr. Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better over here swings on one at about 90. I can kill him. Don't think so.
That was tall. It was taller than the one Mike shot at. Was definitely taller than the one I shot at.
Did you shoot at that one?
Pretty sure he did.
I think I pulled up on it. You guys went, no.
Oh, no,
that
no,
could be-
that was the cripple that Joel missed 3 times, and I cleaned
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Cripple on the water,
yeah.
gets up and
Different
starts
story.
flying, and it's the same jump.
Oh, okay.
Because we jumped it on the hill, we went down into the water, and that cripple
It was
gets up.
death from above.
And
We're going to get so much flack for jump shooting.
Whatever. Like jump shooting and snow geese is pretty common practice.
yeah, it was one jump, but it got up, and Mike starts. It's on halfway out in the pond. Mike brings his gun up. I'm like, no, because it's flying like right at us.
It's not like I was going to shoot it immediately. I was just on it, waiting for it to get closer. But whatever.
Yeah,
To
but
be fair,
well-
to be fair to us for the jumping, we did have a spread out. They
We
just
did.
weren't decoying, and there was a shit ton of birds behind us in that
And
water.
we were bored.
Yeah.
So,
And
and we
we were
weren't going to
bored.
stay in that area either. So, like, let's shoot these birds, get on the road, start scouting.
yeah, there's
That's
nobody
true.
else even around
Which is what
hunting.
we did.
That trip was frustrating as hell.
Yeah, it was very tough.
There's a few bad decisions that we wish we
Yeah.
could go back and
Have that
Or
one
if you
back.
could hunt
Change.
geese in the afternoon,
Noons.
would be great as well.
That's interesting rules they have out there.
I don't mind it. The concept is great.
Just sucks. That's one of the only days that the geese
Yeah.
are flying over the field.
When part of your vacation time are the days that you can't do anything. But that's just geese, right? You can still shoot ducks.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right?
if the ducks had been
That's
better out
just
there.
weird.
You can shoot your swan then too.
I can't apparently, but you can in a
Yeah.
gale force wind storm.
Also
Lucky
jump shot.
Son of a bitch.
Also
Oh, that was
jumped
straight pond swat. He wasn't jump. That was straight pound
He's not
swat.
even-
But you went there on a kill mission. You
Oh,
were not leaving
no,
North
he
Dakota
didn't.
without
He
a
went
swan.
scouting.
No. So, yeah.
He did, but he was not going to leave North Dakota without a swan.
Yeah. Wow.
If he had to pond swat one, he was going to pond
Well,
swat.
I
yeah.
probably would have given the opportunity, but I just never had the opportunity.
Yeah, because that was lucky because that's when we sat out on that island.
I bet that's the majority of the swans that get shot in North Dakota season are probably jump shot. Well, not that many people actually decoy or set up to hunt swans. Like
I will say it is pretty cool when people do it, though, and the swans work good. I've seen some videos of
Jeff
it.
Maleo out of, I don't know, where is he? He's out of Jamestown, I think. He runs like 24 swan floaters in his diver rig. They decoy dozens.
two dozen swan decoys?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They decoy like
They're
nobody's
like
business.
$70 a piece.
Well, let's get a couple.
I fully plan on
Do we
it.
need 24? I don't
no,
think so.
we need like 6.
I still want to hunt out of the big
are we
inflatable
not
swan
friends?
wearing whites this year.
I don't think we are. Oh, there you
It's
are.
gonna work. I'm telling you, it's gonna work.
What are we doing, the swan?
Yeah, I want to lay in whites. I'll put on my snow goose whites. I'm gonna get in one of those big inflatable swan pool things,
Paint the
I'm
big
listening.
ones.
and I'm hunting out of it.
All right.
Bet you $20 you'll kill more snows out of that than we do laying in a spread.
Oh, I'm
of
just gonna
1,000
kill wood
socks.
ducks right here, right in the state. I just want to see how many posts by other hunters are like, look at this
That would be
dumbass over
hilarious.
here." I know it would be hilarious. That's why
I'd be
I
one
wanna
of
do
them.
it.
I need
Until I come back with my limit.
of 3.
Because everybody else will be in there brushed in blinds, and I'll just be out there wearing whites on a big, giant, inflatable swan.
Put it out there for a day or two before.
And I
and-
drowned.
That's almost as obnoxious as a hay bale blind.
Oh, that's way more obnoxious than a hay bale blind.
No, it's not.
Let's be honest.
No.
It has to be. It's because it's not. At
It's the
least the
next
hay
step
bale
down.
blind is actually designed to hunt out of.
True.
I could get the unicorn one.
Put some full pods on it.
The rainbow like wings on the might throw
Oh.
the birds off.
You got to get the swan one and put some White Claw stickers on it because that's about that caliber.
Wow. Well, because then I can hunt till dark or after dark.
There ain't no
And
laws.
and I don't need a plug in my gun because there ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby. God, I hate that that's a thing.
Your nephew is
I know. Yeah, Trent, you
Trenton?
listening? Captain White Claw?
poor boy.
Yeesh.
Poor,
Lord.
poor boy.
I hear he's joining a sorority.
Jeez. He's the catcher.
If he ever comes snow goose hunt with us, he better not bring that out there.
No, he's the catcher of the team.
Well, he does hunt with us, usually. He's planning on coming up sometime in October, probably mid-October.
Yeah,
So
I, was gonna say, I
should
haven't
get on
I haven't hunted with him in a few
Is
years.
he going to come up when
I
yeah,
don't know what that means.
the gym shoe guys are up?
It depends. Maybe it might be around the same time, but might be really close to the same time. Because we'll either have the calendar diver migration going on, maybe depending on the weather. Or
The way things are going, we should have some geese by then.
the way things are going, the divers might push a little early too. Might be in for an early winter, boys.
Well,
Good.
I-
We got big plans. Freeze. Let it freeze.
Yeah, we're fine
I
with
hope
that.
so. I hope so because I'm always deer hunting. That
I was
time
gonna
of
say
year.
the divers can stay on deer opener.
We're always like generally 3 seasons ahead of whatever season we're in, like where our brain is.
Yeah.
So, as
Well,
like the
and
ice
we all
is-
have a problem of no off season.
Well, yeah,
There's
we'll be
nothing.
fishing, and then as we're in the boat, we start talking about hunting, which wouldn't be that odd if we were talking about the upcoming like early honker season. But no, we're talking about snow goose season, which is a good 9 months away from.
I was fully referring to ice spreads and ice eaters.
Oh, that too.
Let it freeze.
But then we already referenced on this particular recording, we have a big winter ahead of us for ice fishing with
No,
Minnesota
not
Made
in this
Outdoors.
recording we haven't.
Yes, we had.
Yeah, we talked about it. We've
Nobody
been
had-
all over the
we're
place
using
on this.
the camera
Oh, correct.
for yes, I know.
Correct.
Yeah, finding cabbage patches for the panfish. Yeah,
Yeah. While hunting divers.
we are not specialists in any one thing. We do lots of things.
We just like to be outdoors.
We do. Although you're probably the closest thing to a specialist at this table because you bow hunt like nonstop or bow
That's
fish. I
bow
mean,
Fish.
But that's not saying he knows what he's doing.
but he doesn't fish.
But I look good doing it.
I tell him where
It's
to.
only because it's done at night
True. Can't see me then.
with blinding lights.
Blinded by the light.
The captain's a douche. What?
Speaking of bow fishing, it's a good time to be getting out here soon.
Is it?
If they
The
get
weeds
cold.
dying off?
Dogfish
Oh,
getting
yeah.
up shallow.
They come up
again.
shallow?
Water temps cooling down.
How
The
did,
weeds go away.
Yep,
How did
weeds go
Chase
away.
the Scales do
Docks
this
come
year?
back
That's
out.
chasing males for you.
Chasing
Hey,
males.
that was one tournament.
Eh.
$20 is $20.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
When you're out of the money, you got to recoup the loss somehow.
No, we were in the money.
Way more than 20 bucks.
Yeah.
That was
20
like more than
times
20
a
dudes.
thousand.
What?
20 times 1,000 maybe.
Yeah.
What?
How did?
No, that was 2,400 in that one.
Well,
So
now-
I don't know. Is it like a league or is it just a bunch of standalone tournaments that you guys fish?
Both?
So there.
Or shoot? I guess it's called shooting.
So
Shooting
there is
tournament?
a series.
Was.
There was, yeah. We actually shot it last year. We shot all the tournaments. They're all in the Mississippi River down out of Winona. We ended up winning the big fish division. So the way it was is every tournament there was like a Big 10 or a Big 20, and then there's also a numbers division. So just flat out most fish. We won overall for the year in the big division because we have a couple decent big fish spots hanging around down there, and then
For the right dollar amount, I can show some people some pins.
Yeah. This is the last
Totally kidding.
podcast Joel's going to
Send,
be doing.
send all bids to. Bidding will
Totally
close
kidding. Anyway,
October 31st.
These guys spend a lot of time on the river. though.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
lots of
this
scouting.
comes with experience.
Yeah.
Yep, and then even recently, I mean, with rivers getting good right now. I mean, just like I was telling you guys know last weekend, it's gotten out on a unnamed river system, somewhat
Superior
nearby.
That was Lake Superior.
It's been 2 years since I've shot a fish with
Yep.
a bow. And
But,
I used to have friends that took me. I don't know. Well, my phone works too. Weird.
We're waiting on somebody.
Yeah,
His
Nate's
phone
got to
works, and
finish
so does
welding.
my phone. Yet somehow those two things never meet up.
We'll have to do maybe an October shoot like we did the other year.
Okay.
Ooh, shoot some big ones.
Oh,
Ooh.
Big girls.
Sign me
Yeah.
up.
That was
that
a fun
was
night.
kind of chilly
We-
the last time I
That's
did it,
gonna
but
be
we
coming
shot
up, actually.
giant.
It was
earlier
32 degrees.
Yeah,
when we
everything was
shot that night.
freezing.
It was great.
The first lake
Sucked.
was
Sucked.
garbage.
There should have been high numbers of dogfish, but they were not up.
And wasn't the clarity crap too?
Yeah.
Remember? Wasn't it
No,
really
it was.
green? I thought
It was good.
green.
No, it was good.
The
The
first
fish weren't
lake?
up.
First
Yeah.
lake should have been good. That lake's usually
Yeah, but it's usually dirty, though.
it can be. So then we switched lakes to
And
a lake.
proceeded to beat
Oh,
the
my memory's shit.
faces in of big
Yeah,
fish.
we just
That
kept making
there's
laps.
normally not
and
that many big fish in.
I've
Each
never
time
seen
around
anything
was
like
like new fish in the same spot we just shot.
We'd shoot two and play Russian roulette in the front deck of who can get to the next one.
And I'm a terrible shot, so
Oh, you haven't done it.
I know. Well, that's again, I shoot like once a year. Well, now once every 3 years, but friends are assholes.
We'll have to make a
Talk
time.
to Joel and Brad.
I know Brad gave you permission to use his boat.
Yeah, but
yeah, what the heck?
if you haven't noticed for the last month and a half, it blows like a son of a bitch on the weekends.
Again, the one
It
night you and I
rains,
went
again,
out.
20
It
bucks
blows.
is 20 bucks.
Yeah, it's true. But no, we should get together in October down
I'm
there.
in. I'm in. I know Trent would.
We can find
Dig it.
fish somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe we'll just have to take the gym shoe decoys out, boys. Gym shoe decoy boys out.
We should die off to be able to get the kicker boat down there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can probably get the kicker boat in there about now on most of those lakes.
Yeah, but closer to freeze up the better.
Couple weeks, yeah.
It's still pretty beauty.
So we didn't answer the question. So how is there like a place like first, second, third place? Oh, you said you took for like big fish.
Yep, in the division. We got
Division.
Yep,
That's
the
the
big
series,
fish
yeah.
division.
Big 20, big
15, Big
Whatever.
10.
Got
Yeah, it varied. So we did that, and then a guy we know we're good friends with, he has a pretty fancy airboat, which makes it a lot easier to shoot numbers on
I
the
think your house costs less than his airboat.
I guarantee it does.
Wow.
and on the Mississippi, because it's a lot of sand flats, and the airboats you can just go up and over and shoot the fish that are on top of them. But
Nice.
with every other boat, you kind of
Can't
run
do
into
that.
them. So,
Fans.
but he did that, and so then. But even then, this year we had the Bow Fishing Association of America, which is a national association.
Well, you can also mention
It is of America.
Yep.
the LLBA,
Yep.
which
Oh,
you are all involved in.
Yep, I'll get to that. And then, but they had their Worlds tournament out of Winona, Minnesota this year. And
Record numbers
their-
of boats,
both-
right?
I think it was like, I've heard different
106.
numbers. I've heard it was like 104, 106 or
I've
something
heard
like
100,
that.
102 to 106.
Yeah,
John
so-
Laska told me 106.
So,
Whatever.
yep, somewhere in there, 106 boats, which is a lot of boats. They're, as they're selling the bid, it was, there's 100-something miles of river to shoot. Well, when you break it down, there's 100 boats. It's a mile river per boat,
That's
and
nothing.
that's nothing when there's some decent chunks that are not really that fishable. But
Not worth your time would be more of the.
yep. So, but there was fish everywhere scouting. I mean, people were seeing huge numbers of fish and very large fish.
Grassies.
Yep, there's a few grassy, few of those invasives, grassies,
Up
seen
until
and
about
shot.
Thursday, they started dying off.
Well, the
and we had
weather
a
went to
rain.
shit.
Yeah, we got
We had
like
a rainstorm
like
Thursday
6
night.
inches of rain or something, and then the river just went to
Blew it out.
just blew it out, and
Completely flipped it.
we still
100
had some decent fish around. But when we got out there, pretty early because they let us go pretty early before dark, and all of a sudden we get out there and it's just boat. I think at one point we counted like 12 boats out there at
12
once,
boats.
and not a very large area. And so we ended up just parking on an island, waiting for it to get dark. And then of course there's boats out there with their lights on, running through the stuff we want to be shooting in.
Oh, sure.
And when it starts getting that twilight, the lights don't do a whole lot, and all you're doing is spooking fish out that you could be shooting. So
What do you do in that twilight? You just don't run your lights and hope
you
to see them, or what?
just wait.
Just chill out till it gets dark
Oh,
enough.
Just wait.
till
That's
the
all you can do is
conditions
wait
are right.
until it gets
Or
dark.
back when I was fishing tournaments, we'd always pull up on sandbar and have hot dogs or something for that hour. No, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're blowing your own fish out if you don't.
Yep. So, but we ended up fighting through that.
Eating wieners on a sandbar. $20 is $20.
All right.
Well, it got to be a bit of a long night, tough night,
Sensing a
grinding
theme.
out to find the fish we needed. Found some fish. We ended up pulling third. Easily could have won with some of the fish we found, but with the way we were having to shoot the fish, it was not high percentage.
Third place out of 106 bullets.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was not
Look
high
at that
percentage,
way.
high quality shots, and we're shooting with some guys and on a boat we've never shot off of, just having to figure all that out. We lost a couple fish we probably wouldn't have towards the end of the night because we kind of have stuff figured out. So it was a little tougher third place just because we easily could have won, especially I cheeked a 40-pounder that would have probably got us
Helped a lot.
helped a lot.
I
And
think anybody that fishes in a tournament or any kind of competitive thing, I think there's always a handful. I mean, generally you're not in a tournament unless you're somewhat qualified to be in it. And it's the fine lines like that always separate the first place from the third place.
There's always that
It's
one
like,
bite, that one.
Well,
Done.
look at MLF this last weekend.
Well, that's different.
He ran away with it, but he just happened to be on that spot that caught how many fish in like 30 minutes?
it's like 23 or something.
Yeah, I mean, he just ran away with it. But
That's
it's
like,
not that
it's like
other
you said,
people weren't doing similar things. Just he put himself in a position to capitalize on a lucky situation. I'm not going to say he got lucky, but he, you know.
Well, I'd say, I mean, there's a lot of luck to it, but
There is.
your
Who knew
luck
there was a
increases with the more time you spend out there, the more you learn, and the higher your skill level is, you increase your chance at having good luck.
That's what I mean. Like, you're not saying they got lucky, but they put themselves in a place to capitalize on a lucky situation.
Yes.
You have to, I mean, because if you're not prepared to do that and you get in the perfect situation, you don't capitalize on it. It doesn't mean the opportunity wasn't there. You didn't capitalize on it. Whether if it's
I think,
fishing,
well-
it's you weren't throwing the right bait at the right time or the whatever. I mean, school was there, but you didn't.
I
You
heard
didn't
once
fire them up.
success equals opportunity, or what is it?
I don't know.
When preparation meets opportunity. You have to be
Okay.
prepared, put
Yeah.
your time in,
Yes.
and when the opportunity arises,
Yeah.
put yourself in that position
You have to capitalize
succeed.
on it.
Iconelli talked about that a lot. You know, when he won, was it 2 years ago when they were on Pokegama here in Minnesota, and he won,
Yes.
and he hadn't won an MLF for a while. Like he was kind of down on himself, and he's like, you just got to keep putting yourself in the position to win, and soon you're gonna win one. You know, if you're just consistent. And I think this speaks volumes to
Life.
Chasing Scales or anybody. I mean, it's like any tournament, like in the Minnesota Made. It's the
Yeah.
same people that win. There's a reason. They're not just consistently lucky.
Well, you want to talk
They're
about luck.
They're good.
oh, jeez.
You want to talk about luck. The guys who won the World's tournament we were talking about, he's a great guy. He's up from, northern Minnesota. I know him, personally from shooting other tournaments. Great guy. Never, ever shot the river before. Never been on Mississippi. Never been on anything. He goes out there to scout at some pool that's notoriously not the greatest pool for big fish because he's just going for big fish, the big 20. He goes to launch his boat. There's a couple local kids there go and tell him, hey, don't waste your time out here and send them to a different spot. finds fish out there that night,
We won the tournament off it.
and then the river goes to junk. They go back out there the night before. Fish are still there. Show up. Their fish are still there, and they win.
But does he consistently
Yep.
place?
He usually does fairly decent up
At home, though.
At home. But the river is a whole different beast than the lakes up in the Fergus, Alex area. It's a whole different beast.
Like
You
in
just
general.
got lucky in the fact of that the fish that are there aren't bigger than that, but the fish that are bigger than that down in different pools
left.
and
Their
all
fish
we-
stayed.
Yeah.
Their fish just happened to stay.
Yeah, he didn't. 3 nights before, he didn't have fish that were gonna win compared to what everybody
You guys
else
did.
had. Oh yeah, we had
We had fish to win.
we had fish to win, and he didn't at that point. But when everybody else is, from what I heard, is it sounded like it was just a little spring behind an island or something.
Water was
just
clear.
clear water pumping in, which was the big issue because stuff got dirty, blew stuff out, and it was a fairly small area, and they just kept circling because the fish just kept filtering
being
in,
there, yeah.
which is weird because especially on the river, usually you find clear water,
You don't see fish.
you don't see fish.
Well,
You don't see carp. you don't
Capitalized on a good situation.
Yep, well, he capitalized. I mean,
I mean,
a little bit of luck
That's
being
just one of those
kind of
things,
being
too, when
dropped
you
to
find
well, I
pan.
mean, it's
fish, you
not that
stay
there's not
fish.
luck involved. That's kind of what I was saying. Is like there is some luck, in.
You've had this discussion dozens of times on
I'm
this
sure.
podcast.
On this podcast, maybe. Well,
if
usually
he's
with the ice
lucky or
fishing
if the
boys.
opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you have to capitalize on it when the
right.
opportunity.
Oh yeah,
presents
well, and that's
itself.
where him.
I'm
being
really good at
diesel.
not capitalizing.
I mean, somebody once. I mean, saying like
Really good at not.
I'd rather be
capitalizing.
lucky than good any day. I mean, there's some truth to that too. Like, if you're
Yeah.
really good, but stuff didn't work out and you left with nothing, I'd rather be lucky and leave with something,
True.
or get lucky or something. I don't know how that works. Something like that.
You are married, so get lucky
True.
would be good,
It's rare.
right?
Oh,
It
the
happens.
days are coming.
One of somebody at this table is engaged, and the other person at this table took some heat.
About getting engaged.
And the other one's
about getting
practically married,
engaged. Yeah, pretty much.
but she seems pretty cool.
She's all right
We
for
think.
an animal lover. She was hugging my geese, tenderizing it for me.
There you
Oh
go.
my gosh. Don't tell her that.
She knows.
She knows.
Oh, she
She
knows.
full well knows.
She knows.
I just want to invite her over for dinner, I think. I won't make it obvious.
Where'd
we'll
all
do
the
like
geese go,
we'll do
Dale?
like some pulled geese or so, like, and make it like barbecue, and just we're doing sloppy
As long
joes
as
tonight.
there's chicks there, she'll be happy.
Yeah, we're just doing sloppy joes tonight, and after she's had a couple of them, then I'll break the news to her.
That
I'll
would
show
be-
the picture up to her.
You gonna make goose
It's
tacos
actually
tonight?
This one, I think I might make goose tacos tonight.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That would be pretty good.
They are pretty good.
What
They're
time's dinner?
Pretty awesome. What time is it?
Depends what time we get done with this podcast. The
Oh,
fish
it's
are
only
biting. I
1
heard.
o'clock. It's the east wind, bro. Calm it. Calm your
It's
tits.
the best bite.
Nah,
You ever heard that?
best
This
bite.
just sounds like an excuse to not catch fish.
There you go.
It's not an excuse.
We had a
Well,
south.
it's not. No, it's there. Animal activity is low with east winds.
It's
High
just-
pressure
it's
systems.
fact.
It's what it is.
It's not that you can't catch fish in an east wind, but if I go off memory, I don't have any days that
The
had
fish
an
bite
east
the
wind
least when the wind's from the east.
lit them up with an east wind. Sure, you can have an okay day, but it wasn't that great yesterday with the south
Both
wind. I
winds.
thought maybe it would be better, but
Well, you were on a lake that's engulfed in a polar vortex, or in a
Yeah,
vortex of
it
wind.
was- we had
so
white caps out there, and
Yeah,
it was
5 mile an hour wind,
almost
we got white.
caps. I don't think they were
Dang.
quite white caps, but
They were
pretty
starting
close.
to crest
yeah,
a little
they're
bit.
pretty close, and according to the old Weather Channel, was only supposed to be like 5 mile an hour winds. Like, I'm no Dave Dahl, but this is more 5 miles an hour.
Pulled up to the landing.
Yeah, well, today it was supposed to be calm, like no wind.
Oh,
and
well,
it
I'm
was
glad
a
it
nice
wasn't.
It
breeze.
saved
yeah,
our
me
ass
too.
today.
I completely saved our ass today. I mean, those birds would not have worked that well. Because even yesterday with the controversy we had,
hold on,
if we had
hold
had
on,
the wind.
Hold on. Those birds, we would have not seen any of those
Well,
birds.
that's true, too. They wouldn't even have migrated without that wind. But if we would have had this wind, or any wind for that
Yesterday.
matter, yesterday morning,
That cell flock would have
those
worked a lot
flock,
better.
yeah, they would have worked. They would, it's easier for them to land with the wind. I'm pretty sure the birds prefer having a wind to use.
Although, how many times scouting have you seen ducks and geese on a body of water on the windy side?
well, often
Frequently.
that's where it's all
Especially
stirred up,
divers.
especially teal.
Divers are stupid. They just do whatever the hell they want to do.
Love it.
Watch them bounce off the top of the whitecaps.
They
Well, they can
that
get the
windy
food. It
side
stirs
and-
the food
yeah,
up for 'em.
and
It makes
shallows.
sense, but how do you hunt
dabbler
that?
ducks. Well, yeah, you wind in your face, it'd be a terrible situation. I've been seeing it, but that it's not to say that there aren't still birds on the other part of the lake.
Or you
either.
go, even with the one lake we have, our late season buffalo spot as an example, that little back bay, those mallards just love. I do not care what wind it is.
I can't even make any sense of that. They just love it. It
There's
doesn't
this-
matter what the wind
Are
direction
you
is.
getting
That's where they want to
flashbacks,
be.
Dale?
Kind of.
This is
I love
And
that
a little
spot.
bit of a chubby.
Remember
Speaking
the
of.
3 of us cleaned up an 8-pack?
Yes.
You and Austin cleaned
Austin
up that
and I
8-pack.
we almost
should have
cleaned
been
up
able
some
to clean
scoters.
up a flock of scoters, but they shorted
Which,
us on the
note
line.
to self, are not frequent in Minnesota.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they're around.
They breed in northern Minnesota.
Right.
Some of them.
But there's not very many harvests.
No, they're not. You generally don't see too many scoters in Minnesota. But white wings. We have white wing scoters here in Minnesota. But Austin has shot.
I killed a black up in Ely, too.
There you go. That's what I was getting at.
And now we have Nolan Halitsky in the line.
Nolan,
Hey.
welcome to the Full Scale Outdoors podcast.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. He's like the resident Jamie. He's been looking stuff up on his phone.
Yeah.
His intern Tony. That's from SmackDown Outdoors podcast. Give him a shout. What was the actual saying that Joel was
I'm not sure.
aborting?
I'll try and find it again.
Get on it.
Get on it.
Google search.
Yeah, this is like our conversations jump around as much as our like hobbies do. The fall is just like the best and worst time.
There's not enough fall.
Fishing is just going to continue to get better and better and better. More and more seasons are opening. I mean, at least right now, all we have is geese.
Yeah.
Couple weeks, archery opens. Yeah,
Squirrels.
Wisconsin, which are pretty close. Teal season's open, so you can go do that.
That was
Bear
discussed.
season is open.
Doves.
That's going out. Doves are open. Crows are open.
Crows.
Which I'm a little disappointed.
close?
Not even a little. I'm a lot of disappointed in the crows this year. There's been a lot of them around, and they just refuse to decoy. And what we're playing musical. This is going to be a nightmare to edit this.
Physical headsets.
Now Joel's putting his original headsets back on. Nate is now giving his headset to Nolan.
We're back.
Well, I just
Shit show.
donated mine to Nolan while I had to take a leak. I mean,
Did you take one or leave one? Because taking one's a little weird.
you'll find, don't worry about it.
I usually like to leave them, flush them down, never see them again. But that's just me.
Yeah, how did that come about? Take
I'm
a
not-
shit,
I
take
know,
a piss.
this is
Why?
the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest vernacular in the English. Well, I don't know about the weirdest, but
That-
it's a weird
no.
one
Yeah, it is
in the
weird.
English vernacular. Taking a shit.
Whatever it is, it makes
Why don't you
birds
leave
and
one?
deer.
It is really gross. If you when you think about it in a literal way, it's disgusting.
I think half of the English language is not to be taken literally.
Well, there's a lot of that. I got in an argument about somebody using
You
literally,
get in
not
arguments
literally.
I was
daily.
gonna say, you got in an argument?
I know, weird, right? I don't get into them nearly as much as I used to
He just likes to start.
on social media. 'cause
You just
it's
start 'em.
It's just so, yeah, I know.
When-
I don't take the shits, I just stir them.
Somebody else's shit,
Yeah.
your spoon.
Yeah, whatever. Just
Where or what?
it's fun. It's just good comedy. What were we got derailed. Where were we? Oh, talking about how busy the fall is. So then the duck season opens here in
There's
a couple
not enough
weeks.
time in the day.
Closes, then opens again, depending on what zone you're in.
Right.
Then there's grouse hunting, and
Which
pheasant
nobody
hunting,
cares about.
but I don't do because I don't have a dog, and I don't like just taking my gun for a walk,
Correct.
which is what it is. It's a good. I couldn't have because they were all hens. But last year when I hunted that, we dropped the duck behind us, and I went to go get it, and 3 pheasants
Oh.
flushed.
Yeah.
All hens though. Would have been easy. It was like just on instinct, like shouldered. Like hen, hen, hen. Dang it. Yeah.
For me, it's a good $7 investment. To
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
much. And
Seven,
Just-
$7.50 is all it is for the
just in
stamp.
general,
Be safe.
any of the stamps. I mean, I think it's just a good. Even if you don't, I'll call out mountain bikers, wildlife photographers, nature lovers. If you're not buying a duck stamp, get fucked. I mean, if you're gonna bitch to me about what I can and can't hunt, or you don't like this, or you don't like that, you're not putting any money into it.
So with the federal duck stamp, you get
You do?
Yeah.
It says right on the website when you
It's like your sticker for all the refuges.
you get in all the national wildlife refuges with no fee.
Oh, so in case nobody heard that, because Mike doesn't actually have a headset on, with your federal duck stamp, that allows you access to all the national wildlife refuges. So if you're a wildlife photographer or you just like to go see them, you should be buying a duck stamp
Right.
and not
Give back to what you're
and not
benefiting
bitching.
from.
Wow, that's cheap.
Okay, well,
Mine wasn't.
What the hell did you get?
I upgraded to waffle fries and seasoned sour cream.
where were you at on the list of activities in the fall? Because I can add many to them, I'm sure.
Well, we hit fall fishing, just keeps getting better. We talked, so I was kind of just going through the calendar. So bear hunting,
Dove.
dove is all up right now. In a
Pheasant
couple
opener.
weeks, the deer archery season will open here in Minnesota. The following weekend, duck opens.
And then shuts
Then it's
down.
pretty much wide open.
Full tilt, sun up
But
to
then we
sundown.
brought up the grouse opens the same time that archery does. But pheasant doesn't open till the end of October.
Middle of October.
You know what we
Is it
need to do?
mid-October?
We need to goose hunt, bass fish, and bow fish on the same day.
Okay. You know,
I've ice fished and bow fished on the same day.
well,
Yeah,
we
uh-huh,
could
I know.
we could goose hunt. We could
Right.
goose hunt, bass fish, bow hunt, then bow fish in the same day. Joel doesn't bow hunt, but Austin and I do, and so does Nate.
Talk about a Sunday fun day.
Yes.
Oh,
Dolan,
sign
do you
me
bow?
up.
Are you a bow hunter?
I have
Do you dabble?
dabbled.
Dabbled.
Dabble. Dabble. Are you guys both doing the Camp Ripley hunt again this year?
I am.
I'm doing B though.
When's
I
yours?
should do that one of these years. That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
That's
Oh, late.
well. The second weekend is mine's. The A is MEA.
Oh.
The A hunt. I mean.
So, in Minnesota, we have a. There's what would you call it? A season? It's not a season. Is it a season? What would you call it? A season?
It's a season.
Or it's a hunt.
I-
It's a
no,
special hunt.
well, it's a-
within
it's a
the
special
season,
hunt.
within the archery.
Yeah, it's a
deer
special
season.
hunt. I think what the owner classifies it as.
So Fort Ripley, obviously it's a military. What do you call it? Land, compound, whatever. Large area.
Yeah, up by Little Falls.
Yeah, huge. And they have these organized hunts, but there's no scouting involved. Like you cannot trespass on that land before.
Get your maps out.
They have a time, like it's almost like a shotgun start.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, they start you pretty much line up the day before, and whatever time it is. I forget
Is it
what
do you
time.
ever have to be at one spot, or can you be like right to the edge of the property?
No, there's a certain
starting
there's
spot.
a starting line, and everybody fills out behind it. You
Is it
park
well
line.
ran at least?
Oh, it is very well ran. It is very well ran. So then they let you in the morning, and you have to just hand them a piece of paper that pretty much says who's all in there in what
Says you can
vehicle,
be
so
there.
they can track people
Nathan
out.
just
Okay.
said 1,400 hunters.
Holy crap!
Well, yeah, they allow 2,000 permits.
That's
Wow.
The last 2 years
In
it
2
hasn't
weeks,
sold
though,
out.
so-
No, that's each weekend.
crazy. Oh, wow.
So it's 4,000 people. And
That's outrageous.
Every weekend,
And that's
they do it
just-
for 2 weekends, right?
Yeah.
So every weekend,
Right,
up to
but-
2,000 hunters.
And that's
Good
just
Lord.
archery. ain't
But
it?
think
Yeah.
about it. You have a 1,000-acre lake. The jackass still sets up 20 yards downwind. It don't matter.
Well, that pontoon that went right past us, like
Yesterday.
literally nothing but open lake.
Did you not know-
the majority of it behind us, and he goes between
hold
us
on.
and the shoreline?
I was going to say,
What
I
the
guarantee
fuck?
you it was inside of you because pontoons do not operate in more than 10 feet of water.
Oh my god! It's
you
just,
could be fishing a 3-foot weed flat 20 yards from shore. You're still getting.
It's just unbelievable. And they like you kind of try to make eye contact with them, not to like really give them the look, but just like
You could just
and they straight ahead, tunnel
tell,
vision of what
just
they're
tell
doing.
Austin to
They
cast
just
from the
don't care.
pontoon. You know he's going to hit it. we have
there's
we
probably
have,
a fish
we have
underneath
a running
it.
joke.
Joel, that was
We-
pretty funny for you.
I know. Thank you.
That was pretty good. Like I
But
wasn't
tell them the running
I was
joke.
so unprepared for your funny comment that it took me a while to get that one. So yeah,
okay.
we Austined. Well, I proper Austined a pontoon yesterday. So when you're
Oh, yeah,
both
he did it good.
pitching docks, you're trying to skip underneath docks.
Austin is very
was-
good at landing
well,
on docks, hitting pontoons.
To be fair, it was like one particular day he just could not.
no,
bad
no,
day.
no.
He could
it's
not
every
not
day.
hit it.
It's not every
every
day.
day.
Okay, well, this day was particularly where this running joke started. It was a day
We also
where
had
he
3
was-
people in the boat.
Was I
he was
involved?
batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Was I involved
Yeah,
in
it
this?
was the 3 of us.
Goes to
in the boat.
pitch, bang, bang, bang. So now, yeah,
Were we
we're in the
at
dinner
said
bell.
unnamed lake with a good wood bite?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it that? Was it that?
That
late?
was that day.
We did dogfish at the end.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
So it has now since become.
Austin.
Good job, Austin. Every time somebody does it, I did it last night. I was like, that was a proper Austin because it was loud.
Oh, it was very loud. I was waiting for a homeowner to
That
come
was
out.
a full gong right there. That was
Austin is notorious.
hit it proper.
I still catch fish off those. You gotta let
I
the
don't
fish
think
know
it-
the
I don't-
bait's there.
I don't think they care. I really don't think it affects the. I mean, they're used to human activity on that dock. I mean,
It's a little hard on my jig,
I
but
seriously wonder, do fish stay under docks when there's people on them?
yes.
oh yeah, they do
Yeah.
for sure.
So they get used to it. They're not just going to bolt out of there just because somebody's walking down.
I can't
They
even just
have
tell
no
you
reason
with
to.
my cabin up by Fergus. You'll be out fishing on the dock, and all of a sudden a little three pounder will swim out from underneath the dock. You've been out there for 10 minutes walking around catching fish.
I would say how many times you're walking out the dock and there's a sunfish, there's a perch. Oh, what's that fish?
Well, they're stupid. That's different.
it's still fish.
and
They're
bass-
still
Until it
there.
becomes
bass
winter time
aren't.
and we're searching for gills.
Exactly.
It's like,
Big
where are
gills.
they?
You gotta go find that permanent dock.
Right? Yeah.
This winter's going to be rough.
We're predicting it to be rough, but we just got to scout. We're just gonna. You're gonna have to scout because February I want to be busy shooting snow geese in Arkansas. So
I'll
come
go
back,
with you, Joel.
I'll come back to fish.
I'm going to have to deal with dummy.
Well,
He
you,
sh-
you
since
don't want
he's-
him to
hold
sub
on.
for me, although I owe you.
Who's going to drill my holes? This is the
Well,
real problem.
It's time for you to start putting
Hey,
on
if
your
he's
big
going to
boy
be bailing
pants.
on you, he should get a Panoptix so we can use that
Oh.
to scout.
What the hell? Why do I got to get a Panoptic?
Well played. Well played.
I'm not going to get to use it. That doesn't
well,
make
because
any
when you
sense.
upgrade that boat,
Sharing is caring.
you get new graphs and you get an ice bundle.
So again, this sounds expensive. So everybody, subscribe to the Full
This
Scale
podcast
Outdoors
sponsored by
podcast.
Full Scale Outdoors.
Like, share, comment, review, mention it to advertisers.
Donate.
Donate. I should get I should get Patreon. People can start donating $1 an episode.
Feed my starving podcaster.
Exactly. Hey, this shit does cost money, yo. It's not free. Let
Oh,
me tell you.
Panoptix ain't too bad.
It's only
How is it not too bad?
$2,500
Yeah.
more.
It's only like the most expensive electronics on the market.
And we can't use it tournament day anyway, so what
Yeah,
the
but
hell
yeah,
does
exactly.
it matter?
It's for pre-fishing,
Good
though.
point.
What the
You
hell
don't
does
need
it matter?
Doesn't do any good.
Clearwater.
Yeah, chasing a school of fish around that you ain't going to be able to see the next day anyway.
Right, they won't be there. They'll be gone. They gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have to.
We are
Is
fishing.
that one in January or February? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but we are fishing 4 lakes we have never put time in on.
That's all right.
No, I know. It'll be good
What
for
did
us.
we fish? Only 2 of the lakes last year we had experience on, right?
Yep.
Kegama and Big Marine
What else did we fish last year? Maple. which
Maple.
I'm glad.
and North Arm.
Oh, yeah, you're lucky you weren't there for that one with me.
Not really,
subbing
though,
in.
because
No.
we would have caught sunfish.
I'm unlucky that he wasn't there. I'm
Yeah.
convinced Joel would have caught some sunfish. That
Hey,
day.
I caught the crappies.
Good
Did.
deal.
Yeah. You were getting the crappies first thing, and then it took me a while to get going with that, but I caught the bluegills.
I was catching bluegills. They were
Just
just
not the
all
right size,
6
yeah.
and 3/4.
Apparently, 7-inch bluegills on that lake are hard to come by.
I was so
Oh, and then I
sick.
dumped that big old
7
crappie
is
at the
not
hole,
a big
too.
bluegill.
I was so goddamn sick of sorting bluegills on Minnetonka.
Oh, dude, it was. Yeah, you're trying to like gain 1/8 of an inch.
I hate it. I stopped setting the hook on them because I was sick of sorting fish. I'm sorry.
I
but
wasn't. I want to win. Whatever it
I do
takes.
too, but 6.5 hours straight of sorting 6.5, 7,
But
7 and a quarter.
if Austin could have caught 3 7-inch bluegills,
If I'd landed that big crappie,
which would have been our limit of bluegills, which gives us a bonus fish, we would have been in the top 5. That what would he come in that day? 11th
we got 10th. We
Was
got
it
we
10th
placed.
place? Oh, it was
we got
10th place.
we got the last prize.
last.
I
place.
will.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
will say that
But that
was
would've-
the worst finish of the season.
That would have bumped us up to the top 5 probably.
Yeah. Well, easily.
It was a tough bite. There was only a couple full bags that day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was a tough day for everybody. Like it was. Yeah, there was only a couple full bags, but we should have, would have.
And what else did we?
We know where the
Oh,
bluegill spot is
Minnetonka,
out there now.
North Arm, Minnetonka. Yep.
which we had never been on.
Nope.
We put quite a bit of time in out
Yeah,
there.
we
though.
scouted the hell out of that lake. Found a couple good spots. One ended up being a shared spot, which still
We
produced
didn't know,
good fish.
but we
didn't
didn't
know
know
it was
that.
a shared spot till time of the day of the event.
But the spot that we had found that we thought we were gonna go sort through fish. There's good gills there. Few crappies. We didn't catch
Yeah,
anything
they
crazy,
were there, but it wasn't as good as it was scouting.
right. But it never got touched. We went.
No,
fishing
nobody
for,
was over there.
We fished it for a half hour.
Yeah.
Knew right away.
There was people
Not-
close.
Not really.
Well, just because that bay is small.
Right.
I mean, you could see the other people fishing. They weren't far, but yeah, nobody was anywhere near that spot. But the quality of fish wasn't there that day either for whatever reason.
Right.
Just how
But
it
that
goes.
was they were break line fish. They could have been 80 yards away.
A break line in 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
It's got to come down from foot and a half at
Literally
some time.
ice fishing in 3 feet of water for bluegills and crappies.
Yep.
But, bro, you got to be out deep, on the deepest hole.
Okay, go
with
ahead.
all the village of
Have
other
your fun.
idiots.
Hey, have fun.
Don't even need a vex that shallow.
No. Still
Oh,
used it.
I still
You
use
still
it.
use it, but you don't need it.
Well, it does still help you, like, judge the fish.
Oh,
if
yeah,
he's
for sure.
chasing, if he's not chasing.
Although
It's not. There's no cone. Like, you're not getting anything on the
we've
edge
had this
of the
discussion,
cone. But
we've had this discussion many a times between ourselves. That's something you can't teach. Shallow water flasher fishing you cannot teach. You learn it. You put your time in on it. You're not really using your flasher, but you are.
yeah, especially because my mark is like.
Yeah, you're
You
jig.
know what I need to do is learn how to use the shallow water mode on my FL28.
You need to go listen to Mr. Doug Glimmerveen's podcast.
I did listen to that
Well,
one.
Yeah. He don't that what was the
He
guy's
was
name?
using low power mode.
What was the guy's name that was on there?
I don't remember.
Lawrence Luma.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Luma. He doesn't use shallow water mode. He says it's pointless.
I thought he said he did use
No.
shallow water mode.
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
I almost positive he did.
We'll have to.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Listen to it again.
It is what it is.
I don't eat Do what? Yeah, we not. Did we finish recapping it? No.
No.
Have you listened to
We'll
a full
get to
scale
it.
podcast? We
Yeah.
go
Right?
A
Yeah.
B C D F C Q.
So if you want to talk
Mike,
about, you
we'll
know,
get there.
always thinking a step ahead.
Yeah.
It's first weekend of goose, and these two are over here already
Talk about
talking
ice
about
fishing.
ice fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Typical.
Which is, well, usually we talk about snow goose hunting.
Don't let me get me started on snow goose hunting.
Austin had never snow goose hunted until 3 years ago.
Yeah, and he's already shot a blue phase Ross. Jackass.
What are we doing for migrators next weekend?
No bands yet. I'm disappointed.
So we do have some options for next weekend. So well, we can cap off this hunt easily by saying
Early goose season, north winds.
They migrated
Set a big
today.
spread.
we
birds
weren't
push.
expecting it, and we shot birds. And it's really fun watching birds work down from the heavens.
But that can also teach people if you see a north wind in September,
Yeah, go in the field, get into a
Sit-
high visibility
sit
spot,
till 10 o'clock.
throw out as many decoys as you can, and
Sit till
don't
10
plan on
o'clock.
leaving early.
Right.
You're going to be home afternoon.
And those first few flocks you see may not
Will
work.
not work.
They haven't been flying long
Yeah, they
enough.
might just left.
Not
who knows?
tired.
Yeah.
the first
Well, Matt, don't get discouraged if you get snubbed 5 flocks.
the
Because it
first
just
flock,
takes
the
a
first
couple
flock of
them
geese
to-
we shot into today, the first good flock of migrators, ate it from about 500 yards high.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
record time down.
It was
They came
hilarious.
down.
We
pass.
heard them. We're like, they're right there, and they were already floating. Like I think they kind of already made up their mind. Which
Yeah,
we
they were
still
coming
yelled at
right
them,
at
but
us.
Which comes back to visibility. Get seen.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they could
We
see
did.
that.
We added, so we brought more decoys than we originally put out, like quite a bit.
Yeah, we had.
But once we realized that we were in a
Flight path.
flight path on a migration day, we're like,
Put them out.
put them out, because the more the merrier. Safety numbers with pulling those migrators down.
We had enough wind to use socks.
Well, I probably would have put the socks up regardless. Well, just because with the White Rocks though, they have a
Backbone.
backbone in it, so they stay poofed out even in no wind. So
I mean,
they're basically a
today's-
silhouette at that point with a 3D head.
if the weather holds true for next weekend,
They're calling cold. Supposed to be colder next weekend, so
colder, north wind,
it's going to be a north wind to bring in said cold weather. So they should migrate
migrators.
again.
We're setting a
Should
big
be another
spread next
push.
weekend.
Water. We setting our own water. Maybe.
We'll have to see what our
Nate,
options are.
Nate, get on that field.
How many are we gonna run next weekend? What did we
All
What did
of
we
them.
ballpark?
Yes, so many.
40 dozen.
Yeah, probably somewhere in 30 to 40 dozen would be probably a fair.
Of a mixture of all sorts.
Which a
different
lot of
kinds.
people will tell you early season you're stupid. Whatever.
Right.
Have fun.
But we're not targeting
When-
family groups of local birds.
When we pull
And the other
birds from
thing is
500 yards.
You're not on the X field.
No, you're just completely running traffic.
We are very rarely on an X field.
Yeah.
Well, when you're doing that, you can sit wherever you want. You just need to be visible.
Right.
Be
It's-
seen.
It's just like the few times we've had on those sod fields. we
Decoys
have.
be seen. You
It's-
should not be seen.
There's not very many birds that use those fields to feed,
No.
but geese up there, they can. I mean, that spread we put out on the sod field the other year, it wasn't a huge spread, but it looked
Well,
That's
ginormous.
why.
Yes.
That's why some of the best traffic fields are bean fields. Yes, the hide's shit,
flat.
but you're visible.
No
if
cover.
You can't see it. You can't kill them if you can't see you.
Well, and the nice thing about migrators too is when you can toss a grass hide out in a bean field or something like that.
They don't know any better.
They
Yeah.
migrators don't know any better, and there comes to a point too when they're 500 yards up and you pull them down to 10 yards off the ground. They're fairly committed once they've already
Yeah,
started coming down.
Seems, I mean, you can still mess it up, and they
Oh,
can
you
still
easily
change their
can.
mind. But it does seem like
There is a
if
breaking
you
point
can
where
get
you win.
them to
Break.
stop migrating,
You break 'em.
basically. Yeah, so they change direction.
You have a lot
Pretty
higher
good
chance.
ratio of those birds actually
Going
finishing.
with Nick Johnson's wording, they're a lot more vulnerable.
Yeah, they are They become vulnerable.
Once you
Migrating
bring,
geese are very, very vulnerable,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I agree.
They're
Well, we have
tired.
seen it.
They're new to the area. They have no clue what's going
Yeah.
on.
I mean, and we've
and
talked
they
about
just see
this,
a log group of geese. And
you know, this season already too. You get part of the problem with hunting an X, especially the opening weekend of early season. If those birds have been in that field for 2 weeks, maybe even 3, they know that field. That's their house.
It can be fed
So all of a
out.
sudden there's a clump where there wasn't a clump before, and they might skirt it just out of I don't know what that is.
Or you end up sitting on the wrong side of the field.
Yeah, I mean you might be better off running traffic on that X because they're not gonna know it. That's not the one they're going to, so you might be able to pull some birds over.
traffic's how you can get away with those stupid hides.
And you can continue to hunt the same birds over as long as you got a safe roost that can't get jumped or hunted or
Which
whatever.
we are really notorious for not having that.
Well, where we are this weekend. Well, actually, they're not using that roost, but
Not yet.
there's a main roost here that can't be hunted, so
town.
it usually loads up like big time loads up.
So you go down by us,
And even down there, where we
roost-
hunt down there, there's some city spots that
We play with
hold
city
a
birds
shit
down there,
ton of
but
birds.
our main roost down there gets busted every other weekend.
youth. Since we always hunt at youth
weekend is the worst for that.
Well,
Not
now
that youth
it's-
hunt's a
it'll be
bad
next
thing.
Now it's an actual weekend.
Youth weekend. It's
Yeah,
next weekend.
Yeah, next
That's
weekend.
fine.
Why'd they make it 2 days now?
Ooh, but if we're on water, though, they get bumped off one body of water. They're going to
Yeah.
go to the next body of water. Nate, get on it.
We better stop on the way home.
counting our
Try to do
chickens.
something different and don't let us down.
We're counting our chickens. It's going to blow out of the damn south next weekend.
oh yeah, probably will.
Who knows?
We'll set up on the other side of the pond.
There you go. I mean, generally, you can if you're hunting water, you have always stand a pretty good chance of
We're also
getting some traffic because as people hunt around, I mean, when a goose, I might be talking on my ass here, but
typical.
if they're going to an X, you're hunting the X. Bunch of people are all hunting different fields. Those birds fly out to go feed. They get shot at. Are they going to a different field? Or are they going back to water? Probably going to go back to water. And if they've already gotten bumped off that water because somebody, motored in there at 5 a.m. or whatever, they're going to keep looking for water. And all of a sudden they see our giant
Hey, that looks
migrator
safe.
spread with
We're also fantasizing. If we find a
30
big feed,
dozen decoys
if we
and
find a
some
big
floaters.
feed, we're going to not hunt it. We're not going to not hunt it. There you go.
Yes, we are. I want to hunt the water.
If the weather's right.
Even
If
it's
the
not.
weather's right.
It's all that's the tough thing about early season like that, especially when we're worrying about migrating. Weather is big factor.
Weather
Well, for
always
migrating,
is.
you have to have that. For geese, you have to have that because some people might be saying we're talking about. What am I trying to say here? Might be contradicting ourselves because we talked about the south wind migration for divers, but that's a
That's-
calendar migration.
On
So
a south wind, which provides
Mid-October, like
easier-
that week, they are going to push that week every year, and
It's
they
usually on
generally-
the south.
Yeah, and a lot of times people think the north wind is when they migrate, and I have seen them migrate on the back end of that. They'll get in that
But
north
the
wind
back
too.
end.
But I think it's a perception that there was a big migration, or there's a big migration going on
You're
because
seeing new birds
yesterday
in your area.
Yesterday there wasn't birds in that lake, and today there's a shit ton. That's probably because last night they all moved in
Off the
on that
south.
nice south wind. If you think about it, you got a
Tell them
general
the science behind
the
it.
science behind it, our theory behind it, is you got a nice steady 5 to 10 mile an hour south wind, and it's a warm breeze. Southerly breeze is a warm breeze, so there's an updraft. It's easier to fly. They can get in there and hardly touch their wings and just go.
Heat rises, warm south wind.
But that somewhat contradicts the theory of why geese migrate in a northwest wind, because that's generally a cold, strong wind. So wouldn't that be pushing them down? But different, yeah. I think they're different. It's a different situation.
And I
they're
also
not
think-
going off the calendar. They are just moving because of weather.
I also think these molt migrators we're hunting are moving 60, 50, 40 miles at a time.
Yeah, not hundreds.
These ducks are moving hundreds.
yeah, literally
hundreds and hundreds
of miles. Yeah.
Where they're trying to coast as much as they can
and
afford.
you get food with the geese. You're getting food migrations too, especially
Right.
early in the season.
Right. You get east to west migrations with the geese. You'll notice a lot of times you've got birds locked down 2 weeks before the season, and as fields come out, your birds are gone.
They just spread out. That's kind of what happened here. I mean, there was when we were scouting, there was birds around. And all of a sudden, yesterday, hardly any. I mean, it was. I don't really remember a time where there's been, especially in early season, where there's been this few birds in this area. But there was some migrating today, so hopefully there's some new fresh birds around. I don't
Should
know,
be
we'll
some
see.
more after this week, too.
I might hunt again this week if I have the opportunity. I'll hunt that field again in a heartbeat.
Yes.
It's the only small green field around, so
It's not going to hurt.
no, looking forward to it. But just going off of social media, it seems to be a running theme. Some people have done really well. Most people, not that great.
It
Seems like a normal year, though.
Yeah,
There's
kind of a
always a
normal
few
year.
people who always
Yep.
just
Smash
smash
'em.
them.
And then that's what everybody else kind of gets down on themselves because they're like, what are we doing wrong? You know, so-and-so smashed them. Well,
You're not doing anything wrong.
yeah, you're probably not doing anything wrong.
Their bird showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, and they very well could have
No,
been.
their
Not
bird
even
showed
that.
up.
They could. There may have been.
We could have killed 20 in 15 minutes yesterday if our bird showed up.
Yeah, it could have been totally opposite for us. Like more birds could have moved into our area.
Well,
With-
what happened 3 years ago when we first started hunting with these guys?
Yeah, we had the fields.
Opening day,
yeah.
we hunted a feed of 70 birds that ended up being 200.
Yeah, and they just
Yeah.
that was fun. Didn't you shoot the head off a goose?
That was the second day.
But I did do that.
Literally straight to cat. The body went further than the head.
I mean, that was a fun hunt, though. That was those birds just crawling up the field from the roost.
when you're on them.
Rare occasion.
Hashtag on them.
Rare occasion.
Yeah. Well, then the following year, Nate and I, same hunt, blew the face off a goose. And did you blow the head off a goose?
No,
Like,
Nate shot the beak off a goose and it continued to
that's the
fly
one
away.
that's the one I did. Where
No,
it
yeah,
was
that
like-
was Dale's.
Yeah, because I literally shot the beak off, like right where the skin meets the feathers. It was like the beak was gone.
Yeah, because Nate took more of the face
Joel
off.
went to go pick it up, and it's like standing there,
And it
like
flew away.
bobbing, like it was just stunned,
It flew
blood
away.
gushing out of his face, and then got up and flew. I had to shoot it again.
They didn't make it far, but
I mean, it would have been nice if he just grabbed it, but he was, in his
The-
defense, he was
The sad-
dumbfounded that it was
no,
still alive.
The sad part about it is that goose would have lived
No,
until it
would have
starved.
bled out.
It
probably
wasn't
would've
bleeding that
Dude.
much.
Dude, it was.
No, it was
pouring
not.
out of its
After
face.
you shot him in the head the second time.
No, I was watching him when you're like, look at
That's
this, I could see him.
it was Nate's that bled all over.
Yeah.
And his was bleeding like crazy too.
Yeah,
but
because-
you legitly shot. Didn't
Well-
they shot the head off it? Didn't you?
No, it was like half the face. Because
No.
what happened with Nate's is we were sitting there blowing at a different flock, and then they chose to ignore us.
And this
Like
bird
normal?
screamed around the corner of the blinds.
Yeah, just literally,
Yeah.
we had
Oh,
no
yeah.
clue he was there. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
he's like 5 feet over our boot bags. And
Like he like flew with the
And
wind,
Nate,
didn't he? Like
Nate
Yeah.
got an instantaneous erection and had to shoot this goose.
well, he didn't have time to think, which is why he shot it. Which is why
That's
he
why
shot it
he
in
hit
the
it.
head.
That's
Yeah.
why he hit it.
If he'd given him
didn't have
time,
time
he
to
would have
think.
center blasted it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we
Texas
kinda
heart shot.
had the same thing happen today with that loner, and that other group kind of screwed it up. But
Kinda. We saw him coming though.
sorry, Joel.
That's the same microphone.
That's the one I had to sit up and turn around, right?
Yeah.
That one.
Yep.
that I was
Well,
about to
and then
shoot
go
too.
back. So bringing this podcast full circle,
For the 18th time.
I hear him go. Austin goes, shoot that one if you can, and I'm looking. I'm like, are you
No.
sure? Because that's all that's
For
happening.
point, I was on the other end of all the blinds.
Hold on. I'll give him credit. He said, if you can.
Yeah, he did say if you can. So I'm like, you know,
Nah.
started to kind of sit up, but I'm looking. I'm like, I that's out there. But then, thankfully, It hooked around, came behind us a little closer.
He still wasn't the greatest
It
shot.
wasn't the greatest shot. I had to sit up, spin around, shoot behind me, and he was probably 35.
Oh, he was 25, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
he
somewhere in
wasn't
there.
even to the corn.
No. He landed in the corn.
You landed in the corner.
Children of the corn.
And then my bird dog Joel went and get him. That was nice. But I had to whistle, tell him which direction to go.
I whistled you.
He didn't
earlier
mark it
today,
very good.
too, for that pitch.
For the pigeon. What did we get? We got 4 pigeons today?
Yeah, your black one.
Dude, we shot a pigeon today. You have to check out the social media. That was
It was on Snapchat,
it looks like
I believe.
it looks like a
Yeah.
crow. It's the blackest pigeon I've ever seen. It had some of that like
Blue, iridescent.
yeah, that iridescent stuff on the neck that they all get, but the rest of them was just like slate black.
It was really cool.
It's crazy looking. Never seen that before.
Saw him when he
Not
landed all the way
banded.
across the field.
Was hoping it would be
If a
banded.
guy
It's a
had
different one.
the funding, the color variations of pigeons and getting them mounted would be pretty cool.
I've heard they don't
They're-
mount very well.
They're really thin skin. They're actually probably not that hard because you don't have to do much flushing. There's no fat on them really.
Yeah. I've just
I
heard they
don't- it
rip
wouldn't
and
cost you
feathers
that
fall
much.
out.
Just all the color
It
variations.
wouldn't cost
are so
you very
cool.
much money.
I'll be never.
I bet somebody would mount you a pigeon for pretty cheap. It wouldn't take them much. There's not much work that goes into one.
Yeah, you could get like a whole wall of different pigeon color
Yeah,
variations.
it would be
That would
pretty
be
neat.
sweet.
You could have a house.
Yeah,
we are.
Yeah.
and then taking them to the taxidermist. Oh. You could put them on like a tree and then just bring it out to the field with
I
you.
say talk about some
There
sweet
you
decoys.
go. Stuffers.
Stuffer pidge decoys.
Oh, I'm in.
Like
Look
the
at that.
dove tree.
You just
Just
started
got
a
your
business.
pitch. You got your pitch tree. And you just bring it out.
We just started our own business.
There you go. You just started our own.
Or you just got to
business.
make like a corn pile and mount them on top
Listen,
of that.
if I came
Put
up
that
with it,
middle
someone,
field.
I guarantee someone's already. It's going to be on the market tomorrow.
You're so far gone past.
Just how it goes.
Just what it is.
So migrators next weekend, boys.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yes, please. Thank you. I mean, it is nice when the locals just come in on the deck, and
It's
all
less
you got to
exciting to
do
me.
is maybe cluck at them a little bit just to center them up, and they're just it's dead bird flying. It's just it's like this is a dead
But-
bird, and we just have to wait for it to get here.
Migrators do some fancy shit.
Joel just likes the elevator drop.
I
They
like.
too. They sat down today. It was so beautiful.
How tall do you think that first group was today?
They were in the clouds, I'll tell you that.
The
They-
clouds were low, but they were in the clouds. I don't
We're
know.
sit-
I don't know.
Can't fathom.
Out of rifle range.
Snow goose migration height. I mean,
Yeah, they were.
They were up there.
I don't know if it's quite snow goose migration height, but they were up there. It wasn't one of those snow goose days where
it's just like, oh, it's that bluebird
days,
sky. Yeah.
you're like napping. You're like, is that a? No, that's nothing. Wait, is that something?
They're
It's
getting
just literally
bigger.
a speck,
They're
and
getting bigger.
it gets bigger.
Oh, those
'cause
stupid
it
singles?
is a Ross.
Oh.
and then he bails out at 90 after
No,
coming up
he
from a
usually
mile
dies. No, they usually
Single Rossies
they
are
usually
pretty stupid.
elevators straight down about 90 yards out, and then they get to like 20,
And
30
then they
yards,
crawl.
and they just crawl straight to you.
They're the epitome. They are the equivalent of teal to the snow goose.
And
world.
they die. And the Ross goose has saved many a snow goose hunts.
Just like the migrators.
Or when they
saved
get in the little
today.
dogfight thing where they're just they're not decoying, they're just chasing
I
one
swear
another,
to God,
and they
they-
just get into range.
I
You're like,
s-
oh, good, boom, boom.
I swear they play tag.
Yeah, they just chase each other.
They're more
territorial or
surprised than we
something.
are that they're in range.
Yeah, well, probably. They literally don't. You've seen like collisions. You'll see the Rossies doing that while other an actual flock of snows is working. They are oblivious to the world around them when they're doing that because there has been so many near
Cutoffs.
collisions or actual. I mean, it's just like the snow geese too are like, dude, watch where you're going.
Bro.
Rossies still don't care. They're
And
just
then it
like,
makes you feel really bad when the Rossies flare out at 80 yards.
it just sucks when
Snow
anything
goose hunt,
flares out.
you learn to accept 80 yards. That's almost
Yeah.
a victory some days.
Yeah,
That's almost shooting. I mean,
cut them taller not at all.
and you get 60 on some of those rough
Those-
days, and it's so.
So the birds yesterday were definitely within snow goose range.
Oh, they
that we
were,
didn't
but
call.
Canadas are way tougher than snow geese.
Yeah, they're a little tougher to
I
knock
was
down.
just trying to bring it back around. This
Well,
is
we
good
just say
radio.
we're back in
Joel tried today.
Come on, work with me here, boys.
Joel tried today at that long shot.
That was snow goose
Yeah,
range.
that was snow goose range.
That was a decent snow goose shot.
That was up there. I was actually really
Joel,
really
I forgive
surprised
you.
he called it.
It
but
happens.
I don't
it was
forgive
the,
you.
It was
It
the
was-
first one of the day.
It was pretty stupid. That was the first goose I shot at all year.
Little trigger happy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't get to shoot any
Yeah,
yesterday.
'cause I killed the one yesterday.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't shoot any yesterday either. Now that I
that's
think
no
about
worse
it.
than-
Which, if you hunted with Austin, you know you have about a 1/12 of a second to kill a bird. before-
I wait for it to be called.
Right, but when it is called, I'm saying.
When he's got it called, he's already going like this.
When it is
I don't
called.
call it though. Usually,
Right.
It's usually
I told
called.
Austin today there was I was on the far right side being a lefty, and birds were kind of working left to right. I had to beg and plead with Austin to let one get out of the hole for me.
So he could shoot
Yeah,
it.
you did.
Can I shoot that one, please?
There was 2 birds I peeled off to the right. I just
Dad.
mentioned over to Austin, just hey, let one get out for me.
Hey, Dad,
I did.
Hey,
And
Dad,
he
can I
did.
kill one?
I killed mine.
Dad, it's my turn.
Dad, can I kill one?
I was on it.
And he did.
Can I have a try?
And he did.
I pulled up, dropped mine, swung over. Okay, Joel.
And Austin's rocking the 870 pump. I feel like we should throw
Because
out
he's
there
a
too.
cheap ass.
Hey, I got an 870.
Oh, you got the 872? How come you can't hit shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he doesn't have a pattern master.
Right.
Dude, get Team Pattern Master, bro.
Which,
I like mine. I mean, whether it actually helps me or
Confidence.
not, it's I kill
confidence
birds.
thing, I think.
You kill it or it gets away. There is no in between.
Well, I mean,
There is.
just
There
in
is.
between. But I would say my track record for shooting stands on its own.
Right. I mean, find what works for you and shoot it.
I mean, you should be patterning your gun. What you should do, which I have patterned that gun a little bit. No, not this one. I patterned my 870. I have not patterned this gun, but I kill birds with it, so I think it's good. I think we're good. Yeah,
Until you switch shells because what you're shooting now is too dirty, and then
this is true. I
Yes,
need
stay
to
away from those.
because Dale, if anybody doesn't know, his 870 that he had that we previously discussed, that may have been the first time it was cleaned that it broke. Dale does not
Didn't
clean
work
guns.
very good. Well, I can clean this one really fast because the Vinci breaks down in like 3 seconds.
Of course, you can clean it fast when you don't clean it. You wipe it down, put it in the case, and it's good. The
No,
inside
I actually
doesn't get
cleaned
touched.
this one.
Once?
He started.
I've cleaned it
he-
multiple
since
times.
he bought it new.
'Cause I've had
he
to.
doesn't get it in there. Well, yeah, when you shoot those Kents.
This wasn't a
can't, like,
$200 pawn
like
shop
not
buy.
to knock at a particular brand, but this gun does not. The Vinci does not like the Kents.
They burn dirty.
Well, I can tell you, even like this spring. But you remember when you and I, we kept getting shorted by the snows. We
Yeah.
popped on those hay bales. I ran out of the shells that were in my gun. You tossed me a couple cans. I'm having issues all day. Took
Yeah.
2 shots
It
with the
just-
Kent.
it's-
My
it's like-
870 was
when it's,
jamming
I
up.
should say when it's cold because I use them today and it didn't jam up one time. So I had a little bit of an issue early today when I got excited. We were working a group of my guys that were coming down, and as I was reloading my gun, one I somehow got in the magazine
so what
backwards.
what he's saying is his erection got in the way.
Kind of. So yeah. So
Used the wrong finger.
oops.
It was a very exciting moment.
It was very exciting. I was trying to load it quickly, and
Everybody was smiling in the blinds.
that was,
We like working geese.
that was really fun. But it is the crew here, which I finally got on the podcast because they're slackers and they you want to sleep or
Well,
go fishing
like
or
we've
something.
discussed, there's no free time. We're all in
know.
12 different directions.
That's true. But finally got the crew on the podcast, so that was fun. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Blast.
All right, everybody, go catch fish, shoot some geese in the face,
I-
or a
you know what?
bear,
I think I
or
will go
something,
catch
or
fish.
this or that, or whatever.
Is there a nice wood bite going on right now? Can we? Well, we
I
can
don't
maybe
know. The
test
crankbait
it.
Probably-
bite has started.
You've only been staring at your phone the whole
The
podcast.
wood.
Nolan,
There's only one way to find out if there's wood bite or not.
you go.
Go
There's
flip
always
at
a
it.
wood bite.
Go
That's
flip
not
at
true.
it. That's not true.
Where I fish,
It
there's
all
always
depends
a wood
on
bite.
the weed die-off and lake turnover, which we're on a totally different path right now than we've been on.
What do you mean?
We just talked about goose hunting.
There is no wrong path.
No. Now we're talking bass fishing again because this is what we do.
This is what we do. It's just that adds
We
I
have
think it'd be
squirrel
weird, but
brains.
this is normal for us.
completely. It's 100%
every day.
normal. Why? It's just
Right
we
down the
like
rabbit hole.
to do a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, we got some deep rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Oh, it should be the Rabbit Hole Podcast. Well, it should be called the Ramble Fest.
Ramble.
There you
That's
go.
what it should be, but whatever. Anyways, I'm done talking to you clowns.
No.
Bye.
Don't